Morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Good evening,
good afternoon. Welcome.
Welcome. You may notice our background today. We have a special guest on. Say a few hellos first, shall we?
Definitely.
I said hello to someone earlier. We've got Mandy, she's in. We've got Dixie in. We've got Nigel.
Hi, Nigel.
Good to see you. Oh, we got you. We got you.
Hey, if you read it though.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Saturday. Yeah, y'all. Happy Saturday, y'all.
Bit of a clue. Bit of a clue.
We've got Tori in. Hi, Tori. We got Santa in. Hi, Santa. We've got Dave the Gent. We've got Richard, Secret Car Park. We have Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Said hello, Dave the Gent. Everyone's saying hello to each other. We have Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
What else have we got? I did see other people. Yeah, we got my mum in.
Oh, hi, Pat. Hi, Mum.
We got Tam and Bell.
Oh, Tam and Bell. Oh, Tam and Bell's video.
Oh, it's good.
Bell's special.
I like Bell's special.
If you haven't seen it, guys, check out the video. Moderators, if you can link that video in the chat, it is epic. It's really good. Plus, did you see all them pound items he got? They were like worth 40 quid, 50 quid. Oh, man.
I'm moving up to Norfolk, Scotland.
Yeah, we got
Paul in.
Hi, Paul.
Said hello, Tam Bell. Don't want to miss anyone. Let's spin through it. We got
doing good.
They said Mandy, said Diggsy.
Yep.
We've got quite a few. I've got Chris Tyler in.
Hi, Chris.
How you doing, Chris? Jilly.
Hi, Jilly. Guess who I've just seen who I haven't seen for weeks in the chat? Oh, yeah. I'll give you a clue.
Yes, I know. I spoke to the lady earlier. We've got Ian in. Do you know what? I'm gonna bring the lady out.
Who's this lady?
We've got Pete. It's me. I'm just
you wearing a dress as Mel B again.
I'm gonna do a quick change. I'm gonna put something sparkly on and come and entertain you all. So we've got Kathy in as well. Junie, Martin, looking smart this evening. I know.
Thank you very much, Martin.
I just nicked these off of someone's clothesline.
We've just been on probation.
Little Miss Q, nice to see you back.
Nice to see you back.
Daisy, James,
Santa's there as well. Santa's there.
I said like Santa.
Oh, I'm saying hello, Santa.
Hello, Santa. We got Debs in. We've got Nicola in, and I think I'm at the bottom.
I think you've done it, mate. I think you smashed it. You've done it.
We've also there's the link for Tam and Bells. We've got a rural squirrel in as well, coming from Colorado.
Hello.
That's cool. Right, guys. So we said hellos. I'm now going to bring out Rachel. Everyone, please say hello to Rachel.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Rachel.
Sorry, I should say hi. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, we've got little Miss Q in the chat as well, which is nice. We've got someone in from Colorado as well, which is cool. A rural squirrel. Don't know if you know that name. It's probably come.
I do, yeah. Yeah,
probably come from you. Retron Reseller. Yeah, we've got loads of people in. Nice to see you.
I'm so glad that you guys invited me on. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, us too as well. I say, been watching your content and stuff. And yeah, it's really good.
Thank you.
Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So my name is Rachel Strickland. I live in Missouri in America, and I'm a full-time reseller. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. I recently signed up to sell on Whatnot, but Whatnot hasn't approved me yet. So I'm not sure if they approved me today, I don't know what I would sell at the first auction. So I'm kind of glad that I have a little extra time there. But I resell full time, and when I'm not reselling, I'm making YouTube content about it to teach other people how to resell the same way that I learned for free. Just free information on the internet.
Nice,
definitely.
Nice. So we've got Porky's in now as well. Guys, if you check out the description, Rachel's links for her YouTube and Instagram are in there. Also James's and my Instagram's in there as well. So all the usual good stuff. So what sort of stuff do you specialize in, Rachel? What's your favorite thing to buy and sell?
I know what Rachel's favorite thing to buy. I know what she collects. Me.
Yeah, what is it that you think I collect?
Rachel really likes to collect, and it's a certain type, and it has to be vintage. Rachel likes Barbies, and she likes to collect them, and she's got an amazing collection.
That is true. I do love Barbie.
James only knows that because he collects them as well.
I sell them. I sell them.
Oh, okay. I was like, really? You do? Yeah, I just got a couple new ones, actually. I love vintage Barbies. When I was a little girl, my sisters and I played Barbies, and we would drag out these huge toy boxes, and we would divide everything up. Like, you got to pick your clothes and what Barbie you had and what car you had, and we would play the same game for like days.
Wow.
And I just love Barbie so much. But more than anything, I love to sell vintage and designer. I love to collect Barbies, but I won't really sell them because I love them so much. So if I find anything that's quality made, because that's there's a link between vintage items and designer items. Both of them are so high quality that you would be able to sell them. You can pass them on to your grandkids. Especially if you find vintage designer. Like even the designer products today, like Louis Vuitton isn't what it was 30 years ago. Like you find 80s Louis Vuitton, like the quality is so much better. So I love to sell vintage, anything and anything designer.
Nice. See, Melanie's in. That's someone that's probably come over from your posts.
Super excited to see Melanie.
It's nice to get new people in, and it's nice that we got this thing where we're over here, you're over there, and we can do this sort of thing now. It's really nice.
Definitely.
And the community, we've got our little community, you've got your community, and it's nice. Let's just make this a bigger community because it's amazing.
I love it.
I want us to just become a YouTube community, not an American resellers and UK resellers. I just want us to become the YouTube resellers, and we all come together. And I think we're getting there. The more we do these lives, the more we kind of reach out to each other. It just becomes part of knowledge, because even though we have different places to buy and to get a stock and sourcing, some of the items, if not 95% of the items, are pretty much going to be the same that we have access to. And we're quite lucky that we're obviously using the same platform and how things perform as well. But I just wanted to say about the Barbies, Rachel, I watched the video whereabouts you were giving it, I think it was day 20 something of Vlogmas, whereabouts you received them as a gift. And it's as you said there about quality, like you can see, even though the makeup had gone on the female Barbie and Ken's hair was a bit patchy, but it happens to us all anyway. It's amazing to see like how that stood up. Yet my daughter, who's 4 years old, I'm lucky if a Barbie lasts 2 years without an arm falling off.
It's insane, like the quality difference even in plastic 50 years ago versus plastic today. It's insane, the difference.
Definitely. We've got Ian and Rian. I just saw we've got Dave as well, ABL Reselling. Like I say, guys, please check out Rachel's links in the chat. So you'll be excited to know then that they're making a Barbie movie.
Really? Like an actual movie, of real life
Barbie movie. One of my friends is working on it right now.
I will be one of the first in line to see that.
And Margot Robbie is Barbie.
Wow. I'm excited about this.
Apparently the budget is massive because the guy, my friend, thought it was going to be rubbish. He thought, oh no, Barbie, really? He said, we had the meeting. He said, the thing's going to be amazing.
That's really cool. I would definitely love to watch something like that. I don't know what is it about Barbie? I just think that she just, I know that their motto now is you can be anything, or whatever. That's what they try to portray to everyone. And I guess that's what it was when I was a little girl. Like she could switch careers just by like changing her outfit, and she could do anything. And she had like this glamorous lifestyle. I just thought it was so fun.
I mean, as a reseller, I've spoken to other resellers, and I've always said I'd like to get the toys that I had when I was a kid, and they had a wind-up Evil Knievel on a bike.
Oh, cool.
And they had a $6 million man, Steve Austin, as well. and he had a little hole in the back of his head. You used to look through the hole in the back of his head, a bionic eye, and he used to have a little fake latex skin on his arm. He used to roll the skin up on his arm, and it used to have little bionics in there and all that. Like, and then these things are worth hundreds now. Hundreds.
Yeah, and if you still had yours, would you keep it or sell it?
Oh God, I'd keep them. Well, actually, I don't know, because I always think, oh God, you know, I've been a bit lax this month, and like things just get sold. You know, it's just how it is. It ends up like that. I mean, my biggest regret, I've always said, the thing I've ever regretted getting rid of the most was I had a leather spinning chair from a Queen video, and Freddie Mercury was actually sat on the chair in the video. And, you know, I needed to sell it. I needed the money. I needed to pay things. And yeah, my biggest regret.
Dang.
Biggest regret.
Yeah, it would have been worth an incredible amount of money now if you.
Yeah, definitely.
I suppose we could chuck that question to you, Rachel.
Yeah,
and you might not have any, but talking about what Richard was saying about his biggest regret, so that's obviously his biggest regret in regard to sales. What item have you sold that you might have a regret that you sold, and you wish, actually looking back, you wish you kind of held on to it, or you might not have one?
Yeah, I remember hearing that story about that Queen chair when he had told it before, and I was thinking then, like, what item is there that maybe I should not have sold? And honestly, like, nothing comes to mind right off the bat. There are a few things that, like, I'll display in my home until they sell. And like, there was one picture I thought was really beautiful, so I set like a really high price. I'd paid like $5 for it maybe, and I listed it for like 80. There was nothing special. It was just a vintage picture in like a glass frame. And then it sold, and so I had to take it off the wall. But like, I'll find another picture to fill the gap. If I love it too much, I hang on to it.
Do you know what? I've heard a lot of resellers as well say that I priced it high so it wouldn't sell. Now, I didn't want to say nothing to the husband or the wife, so I've put a massive price on it, and it sold. You know, because I didn't want it to sell. But if it's decent stuff, you know, if you like it that much, someone else is going to like it that much.
Oh, definitely.
Very true.
Just seeing everyone saying hello to each other. This is amazing to say. We've got people from the States in, we've got people from Canada in. We usually have Ireland, Scotland, Wales.
We've got Scotland. Tam and Bells are in.
Tam and Bells, Scotland.
In the house.
Yeah, we've got some from Wales in. So whereabouts in the country are you in the States?
So if you looked at a map of America, like, I mean, I'm dead center, almost dead center is where Missouri's at. So center and a little bit to the south. Like we kind of, I don't want to say like we segregate ourselves into, you know, we're Southerners, you're Yankees, like Eastern and Western, but we kind of do. And so if I had to say, I would claim to be a Southerner because I'm south of the Mason-Dixon, and I think Southerners are super nice. So why would I not claim that?
Yeah, 100%.
Is that what they say about people from down south, Richard, about you? Do they say that you're super nice?
They don't know me, do they? Of course they do. Of course they do.
They say in the north of England, they say that we've Richard says we've got no money, so
nice. I have to ask you guys
more than what I have.
I have to ask you guys. So I know there's like one girl in my town that is an implant from the UK, and she could say anything to you and it would sound intelligent just with your accent. Like, I'm sure you guys don't maybe realize that, but when you speak, it just sounds intelligent. It just sounds smart, like you know what you're talking about. So is there like a converse of that? If you hear like a Southern American talking, is there like a stereotype that you think of? Do we sound anything to you guys?
No. You can obviously pick up the Southern accent.
Yeah, it is like over here, like, you know, obviously James has got an accent, and he thinks I've got an accent. I don't. Wherever you come from, you don't think you've really got an accent. I think I speak pretty common. So, but you know, it's the same thing, really. I never really thought, you know, someone from there is intelligent. I mean, you know, speak to. Do you know Krillin, Rob?
I've only heard the name.
Yeah. Well, when you hear him talk and you see him, you wouldn't think he was from anywhere posh, but
I mean, like, if you heard like a Southern American, like when you hear the type of accent I have, is there anything that comes to mind?
Just to me, it's very TV presentery. Like a lot of presenters seem to be from the South in America that we watch, especially actors or actresses. It seems to be a lot of because I watch a lot of comedy as well, and I don't know if you know, but I found like a lot of good comedians seem to have that Southern accent from America.
Yeah, we're funny too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I think of. I think of like positive, funny comedians.
Okay.
I mean, whenever I think Southern, I just think, is it the Mississippi and
yeah, Mississippi's pretty Southern.
Paddle steamers and like I know that's old you're talking, but like that's what I sort of think of. Or is Nicolas Cage? Nicolas Cage's got sort of a bit of a Southern accent.
I think he's from Louisiana. I think he is. Yeah.
Have you seen he's bringing out a film this year that is about him? Nicolas Cage is playing. Nicolas Cage is playing Nicolas Cage.
So I like him as an actor.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And I think he's the type of person that could really play on himself. And from what I understand, you'll see other actors in the film, and I think he's a bit skint, or he hasn't been paying his hotel bills. He's spent up, so he just goes and I think he goes to a millionaire's party and gets paid like $1 million or so to just be a special guest speaker, and that's the concept of the film. But
cool.
But I can imagine it actually. It's either going to be a massive flop, which I don't think it will be, or I think it's going to be one of the talked about movies this year. But
that's interesting.
I like Nicolas Cage. I think he's a great actor. My wife can't stand him. She can't.
Con Air, come on.
Connor's one of my favorites.
He's up there. Gone in 60 Seconds, Evangelina. That's an amazing film.
Yeah. We've got Santa's asking a question for Rachel. Any update on the the $2,000 eBay shoe deal with your son?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I'm sure most of you guys probably don't know, I have a video out on my channel where we got scammed for $2,000. So my son had found some shoes on eBay that were for sale for like $199 a pair, but they sell on other sites, StockX and Goat, for $560 and up. And so I was like, how many pair are there? He said there's 10 pair. He wanted to buy one pair because that's all the money he had, because he's 15. He doesn't have a job yet. He just has a bit of money from selling on eBay. And so I said, we'll buy the other 9 pairs. We bought $2,000 worth of shoes, and 2 weeks went by and the seller still hasn't shipped them. And they're through eBay's authenticity guarantee. So if they show up and they're fake, I mean, eBay's going to give us back our money. But when I contacted eBay, they said, wait another week, and they wouldn't reach out to the seller or anything. And so I was just kind of surprised how little eBay backed us being buyers, because everyone always says that eBay just backs the buyer 100%. They kind of abandon the seller. And that wasn't true here. So they wanted me to wait 3 weeks after buying these for the seller to even ship them before they would even open a case. And we all know that would be like another week. So I'm like, well, basically eBay's going to have $2,000 of my money for a month before they'll even start doing anything about it. That's fine. Like, don't invest money that you're not willing to lose. But to answer Santa's question, we have a really interesting update, actually. The shoe shipped.
Wow.
And so, because everyone on my YouTube video was like, Rachel, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Like, kind of clowning me, saying that I was a moron for even thinking that it could be. But I was like, well, it seemed pretty risk-free. It seems like the bigger risk would be not investing the money in case they were real. Because, I mean, we could buy them for $2,000, sell them for $5,600.
How long has it been so far then, Rachel?
So it's been 3 weeks now. We ordered them on Christmas Day.
I wonder if they are a drop shipper themselves.
But you can't buy these shoes. Like, they're sold out. Yeah. So it's a sneaker release that's totally sold out. So so that is the update right now, is that they shipped to the authenticator, and the authenticator is looking them over right now. But I'm still very, very skeptical. Worst case scenario, I get my $2,000 back, right?
Yeah.
Best case scenario, it's going to be one heck of an eBay story and a brilliant YouTube story. That's awesome, Rachel. That's awesome.
Definitely. We've got Sean in. Sean's one of our resident comedians.
Best way to.
I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, so I don't know. But is it just me, or does our friend Rachel have a touch of the Lord of the Rings Galadriel about
Galadriel?
I don't know what that is.
I haven't got a clue.
Should I see if I can find a picture and then I'll put,
like, should I look this up?
I'll do this part of it.
Don't show us if it's not nice.
So how long have you been reselling, Rachel?
About 5 years.
Wow. What did you do before that?
I sell real estate, and I still get occasional calls about real estate. And like, I have 3 closings this week. Not because I went and sought out, people to sell houses to, but because my like friends or past clients call me to sell their property. So I could be pretty choosy of that, because I would rather be flipping t-shirts on eBay than selling houses. But yeah. Oh boy, he's found something.
He's found something, yeah. Oh, right, okay.
That's what Sean's referring to.
She looks ethereal. I'll take it.
Yeah. I think it might be this image here on the.
Oh yeah, it's that one for sure.
Yeah, it's that one.
I'm sure that's it. I almost wore that same outfit she had tonight. I'm glad I didn't wear that.
There you go. There you go.
I thought you were going to go for the same makeup.
Yeah.
It's saying about the real estate thing. My stepdaughters at the moment, they've been watching this thing, and I went, "Why are you watching that rubbish?" And I sat down for 5 minutes, and I ended up watching about 4 episodes of it with them.
Boy.
It's about women that are selling. It's just women selling real estate. They might, and some of the properties they're selling are like 8 and 10 million.
We don't have that.
crazy amounts.
Wow.
Big,
yeah, that's a lot.
Big business. And I say now they've got these reality programs on it, and I sat down and I said, "What are you watching this rubbish for?" Because like they do watch some rubbish, and I ended up sat down with them for ages, just watching them one after the other. It was crazy. But really interesting, because like I say, some of these places they're selling, and the clients turning up in their Ferraris or their McLarens, and you just think, wow, these places.
That's nothing to me and Rachel. We've both got Lamborghinis, Bugatti Veyrons. I know you've got 2 Porsches as well. If those watching, we are all millionaires. We all drive Ferraris, because we do YouTube. Because we do YouTube, you instantly become a millionaire as soon as you make a channel.
Making tens of dollars.
It's official. I've given away the secret of YouTube. We're all millionaires. So
I don't think so. I don't think so. Does your husband resell as well, or is
no, my husband is he's self-employed. He's an electrician, so he owns his own company. But he likes reselling. He's in the chat tonight. He's in every chat. He likes the people. He likes going thrifting with me. So I mean, who knows? One day maybe we'll both do this. Maybe he'll be an electrician forever. I don't ever want to put limitations on it. And even talking to my kids about like what they want to be when they grow up, I'm like, what do you want to be first? Because I think people are like, what do you want to be? And then you'll be that the rest of your life until you're too old to work, and then you'll retire. And like, that's so not true. Maybe I want to be this for 5 years, and then 10 years down the road, I may do something else.
I think that's really, really old fashioned. And I think you hit the nail on the head there, Rachel, especially the way that my wife and I want to bring up our daughter. We just want her to be happy.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to go, do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a teacher? This, that, and the other. Fantastic if she wants to, and she sticks to her career. Like my wife's kind of gone down that route. She flunked in school. She didn't do well. She traveled for 3-4 years. She went to Australia, New Zealand, and then she came back to the UK, redid her education, and now she's a teacher and she's amazing at it. But she never wanted to be a teacher. She traveled and then she did the world, and then she went, I think she met someone in Australia who was a teacher, and then made her go, and she went, I want to do teaching. I really like what you do. But I think you bang on right. I think when you get rid of that pressure, you can be whatever you want to be. I think as long as you're just happy and you're having fun, because right now in my head, I'm like, I want to be a reseller for like ever. But there might come a day where I'm like, oh, it's not working for me.
Yeah, you could totally change your mind. It goes back to Barbie changing her clothes and changing her outfit. See, same thing.
It all comes back to Barbie. It always comes back to Barbie.
Well, I keep saying I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up.
Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet.
We haven't grown up yet, Richard. No. We've got plenty of time to grow up.
This is fun for now.
Never going to happen. So we've got a new name to me, Smells of Roses. Good to
I like that.
Good evening. Nice to see you.
I used to say that to my sister. Interesting fact that I used to say that to my sister. Now I used to say, my sister's 8 years older than me. When I was 4 years old, she used to make me say, what do I smell like? And I used to say, oh, you smell of roses. And then she went, and then she said, "What do you smell of?" And this is what she made me say. So she'd go, "What do I smell of?" And I went, "You smell of roses." And she said, "What do you smell of?" I said, "I smell of weeds." So, so there you go. I have a loving sister who wants to smell of roses, but I smell of garden weeds. So
man.
there we go.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, girls are definitely bullies.
Yeah.
Is that your husband there?
That's my husband.
Yeah, nice to see you, Drew.
Drew's amazing.
You've got an amazing beard.
Yeah.
I told him he's gonna have to pop down here and give us his southern accent in case. So maybe he'll stop in here in a bit.
We've got a name that I've not seen in my chat, but I have seen people with T-shirts with this name on.
Oh.
I almost said you must be talking about the Cha-Ching King, Scott.
King. I have seen T-shirts with your name on. Very nice to have you in the chat.
Scott's
Very
awesome.
nice to have you.
Rachel she is an international star. She is. We're building bridges. We're building bridges. We're making the world a bit of a smaller place.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we've got a Matt. Guys, if you've got any questions for Rachel, please put them in the chat. And we'll get them sorted for you. So check the description for all the links for YouTube's and Instagrams. Rachel's got an amazing Instagram. I think it was a picture on your Instagram. I saw you're very into. I don't know whether you bought it or whether you saw it somewhere. One of these valet things where you hang the clothes on, and
yeah, I bought it and sold it.
Yeah, James bought and sold one recently. Actually, they're nice things.
They're really good money. They're like way better money than what you would expect.
Yeah.
The benefit I found with the one that I had, so it was made in England. It came out with like sliding bits for like hanging your ties. For your trousers in the middle, it had like an arm, and then it had the hook for your actual suit jacket and everything. The benefit you find with something like that as well is it's made so logically that when you look at it and you're like, how am I going to fit this in a box? It's been designed. It all comes apart like with ease, and you just have to look and it's there. And I originally looked at it and I was like, that's going to be a nightmare to post. And then when I posted it, I think I did it in 10 minutes. And then the person in London, which of course it was going to go to London, that's whereabouts the money really is in the UK. Someone's probably got a nice flat, it'll be really modern, but they've probably put nice vintage things around there. And I can see exactly how that's going to look inside their flat.
Nice.
But yeah, the guy was like, mate, he was like, thank you so much. It's arrived safe and sound. And I think I picked that up for £10, which would be about, what would we say, about $13, $14. And then I sold that for about £130, which is like awesome. $150. Yeah. So yeah, good flip. And
and something that so many people pass.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think a lot of people pass, people are put off it, or people look at it and just go, what is that?
Yeah, that's true.
Or they don't want to deal with packing it, sending it as well. Sometimes they think, that's going to be a pain to send, but it's not.
No,
none of these things.
Nah, I'm not afraid to ship big things or breakable things at all.
100%, 100%. I'm literally on the border of South and North. Technically, Ohio is called North, but I claim my Southern roots. See, I've got a friend who I don't know where's because we've got the Carolina clause in, but I've also got a friend who's a cop, and he's a South Carolina cop or a North Carolina cop. I can't remember.
Carolina, we would definitely consider Southern, and North Carolina, probably the majority of it, I would consider Southern as well. They're on the coast.
Wow. Yeah. Retro said Americans all sound like WWE wrestlers to me.
Americans
I think Rachel sounds like a wrestler.
Rachel, that's a question from one of our viewers there. What would your wrestling name be?
Oh my gosh, I would never have one. If there's anything, let me think if there's anything I dislike more than professional wrestling. When my son was little, he liked professional wrestling, and being a good mom, I would take him to these matches, and I'm just like in the front row with him, just shaking my head like, why am I here? Watching these guys throw each other into chairs and stuff, or act like they're throwing each other into chairs. It was cringy.
Yeah. Do you buy vintage toys though? Do you buy the wrestler toys?
Yeah, I bought some yesterday. Yeah.
Hey.
See, they make good money. You might not like them, but they make good money. Do you buy the rings as well, the wrestling rings? And
I have a couple of them from my son from when he was little that I still haven't listed.
Yeah. Like, that's good money.
A couple of people use the rings if they've got one. Sometimes they keep them for the wrestlers if they're buying lots of them. Sometimes it's quite good to have them in the ring.
Hey, that's a good idea.
It stands out. It's quite a good thing. There's a guy who I follow who's not a YouTuber. I just sometimes stalk profiles on eBay and I look at what people are selling. And I think he's like the highest figure is what he sells, one of the most amount of toys in the UK. So it's like £1 million plus turnover. But on his images, one thing that he's got and how it stands out is he uses like if he's doing Barbie as an example, he's got like a backdrop of like a dream house. And if it's like a wrestler, he has the ring and then he has like the entrance like photographed in the background. So it looks like the wrestlers walk down to the ramp.
Wow.
So
maybe that's what I should do.
Well, sometimes I think that's what we've got. You know, it's the first thing anyone's going to see before they read is that picture. So, but yeah, no, definitely.
Green Bear Peaks in. How you doing, mate? Hope you're well. So you buy what is your? I've asked you what is your favourite thing to pick up? Your favourite thing. If you could just buy one thing and just make money from that, what would your favourite thing be?
If I could find enough designer items, I don't know. Honestly, I would probably still choose vintage over designer. And I've talked about this before. And that's just because if I didn't buy the designer items, someone else would come along and buy them. But if I don't buy the vintage items, then they might end up in the trash because there are people that don't appreciate them like I do or like my buyers do. So, and that pretty much is all I pick up. Like, I'm not really interested in it if it's not something they're not making anymore, something really cool and vintage, everything from VHS tapes, vintage staples, crayons, pencils, all the way to like a vintage wooden valet stand, everything in between.
Do you buy vintage electronics as well?
Yeah, I do. I sell VCRs, also like boom boxes. I just sold a vintage keyboard, vintage video games. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot that scares me to sell.
I love a VCR. I love a VCR.
We play more VHS in our house than we do DVDs. Our kids
That's good.
Yeah.
that is good. That is good. Right, so still find it mind blowing. All of the UK couldn't fit into Texas. Is that right? The whole of the UK couldn't fit into Texas. Probably right.
Wow.
Probably right.
Yeah, that it could. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's amazing to me because like when I talk to my friend that's from the UK, like we would have to travel so far just to get out of the country. Like you travel a really long way just to get out of our state. You could drive just in Missouri 8 hours corner to corner and still be in Missouri.
Yeah, I think that's from top to bottom. I think we can do it in anywhere between 9 and 10 hours, I reckon, on a good day.
Oh yeah, that's like a medium-sized state.
Sometimes that's between towns in America.
Yeah,
it is. Well, for me to get to like the Goodwill Bins, which is like the Goodwill outlet everyone talks about, it's a 3-hour one way just to get to the Goodwill Bin. So it's a 6-hour trip for me to go to Goodwill Bin. So I don't really go there, but like, just to give you a perspective about how rural we are, it's 3 hours for me to get to an airport.
Wow.
Yeah. So like the flight is to get to where my parents live is only 2.5 hours, but the trip to the airport is longer than the flight is.
That's crazy.
Wow.
We went to Mallorca for our honeymoon, and like I thought it was bad having to travel an hour and a half from the airport to the hotel. It's just like too much. I'm thinking that's too far away. 3 hours for an airport. Wow.
Yeah, just to get to a major airport from us. Yeah,
that's crazy. Flip and Phil Reselling Accountant. Good to see you. It's a new name to me. £77. Oh, they're the UK. £77 lighter after going to a vintage kilo sale today. Nice. Nice. You think of the money?
I imagine you might be like now, but in the next couple of weeks when them sales come through, it will be back very quickly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Be soon we're looking for more stock.
Talking of pickups and kilos and stuff like that, have you had any good pickups this week, Rachel? That your standout pickups that you've got this week?
Yeah, I haven't sourced a whole lot this week because there's an estate sale that's coming up that I don't want to have a backlog of inventory at all when I go to it because I know I'm going to come home with a whole car full of stuff. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't have any unlisted inventory before this sale, which is like coming up in a couple weeks. But I did come across some sealed cassettes, and they're like audio cassettes, and they still had like the anti-theft device on them. So they were like dead stock from a store, and I already sold one that was Smashing Pumpkins. I sold it immediately.
Wow, yeah.
I bought these all for 25 cents a piece, and I sold that one for like $38, I think, immediately.
Wow, brilliant.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Smashing Pumpkins are obviously quite a big band. They, obviously did well in the UK. It did really well in the UK. So
yeah, the other sellers were in the UK, and the shipping from the UK is always like crazy here. So I thought mine might have a bit of an advantage to not have that much shipping, because I just mailed it first class. So it was like $3 or something shipping.
Wow. We've got Richard's Secret Carper in the evening, mate. Texas is huge.
Yeah, it is large. It's only our second largest state, though. Texas isn't actually the biggest state. Alaska is.
Wow. See, I think of Alaska, I'm thinking snow, mountains.
Yeah.
Like in the is it the Revenant, the DiCaprio one? That's what reminds me of Alaska, is just like fishing through the ice and stuff like that. It's cold.
I mean, it's not heavily populated. Lots of I don't know, I guess like a tundra style environment, pretty unsettled.
Wow.
Mostly, I would suppose.
Let's get up there reselling. Let's
see, we're getting mixing things up here now. We've got Chin Kings just sub to Dave.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, we're getting people together here. This is what it's all about. I always say my channel is about positivity. It's
100%.
about getting people together, and it's about, see, I'm not a big channel. I'm only just for the end of last year sort of reached 1,000 subs, but even before then I was all about helping smaller channels, and like I'm all about bringing people on, and obviously you don't need help, you're smashing it compared to but like I like to help people. We had Mr. Q on, and everyone we seem to get on, we seem to help, and I just want to see everybody grow their channels. I'm
with you. Like, there's no reason everybody can't win.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be amazing, especially like we've met today, but in like a year to 2 years to 3 years, because I imagine you're in the same boat as myself and Richard. We're doing reselling, and to be fair, we're probably going to likely be doing this in the next 5 years at least. It's going to be amazing to have these moments to connect, to talk about it, and all watch each other's channels grow, watch our eBay businesses grow, because eBay is always evolving, and it was only last year that they've added, and I've not seen sales go to it yet, but I think a lot of that's to do with COVID. Russia was added on a GSP. So last year Russia was adding a GSP, but I've not sent an item to Russia yet.
I imagine one of my restricted countries, that is Russia.
I imagine that's because if you talk of big, Russia's big. Russia is like half of the world. It's massive. Yeah. So eventually, the more eBay gets around, the more that it can connect the global shipping program. I don't think it's going to be too long before the delivery company ends up just being eBay. eBay is buying its own networks, its own delivery drivers, and it's a brilliant platform. There's lots of platforms out there, but yeah, I'm heavily invested.
We've got Lee Cola Flipper. I don't know if you've seen Cola Flipper, Rachel. Another good UK reseller, knows his stuff about designer.
Nice.
I mean, this guy buys Chanel shoes, and
I definitely need to check out this channel.
Well, he went to one, we call it a car boot, I think you call it a flea market. He went to one. He found some earrings, and one of the little bits on the crystal on the bottom of the earring was broken. He done a video on it. These earrings were £34,000 or £38,000. So about
£100, didn't he?
Absolutely crazy. He paid
$100. Was that in a pair of shoes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely
amazing.
Very, very good with designer stuff. So
I definitely need to subscribe to this channel. I'm going to take.
Lee did give me. So you might notice, obviously, for those watching, you might notice my blue jacket. That's my pickup of the week.
Yeah.
If you watch my YouTube video, you can find out how much I paid for it. But I listed that today. I thought it'd be worth about £150, but looking at research, this can comfortably sell for around about £200, which is about $230. I won't say what I paid for it. You have to watch my videos. But it's definitely my pickup of the week. And even Lee, who like I inspire to get as good a knowledge as him with clothing, he was like, mate, I can't believe you got a Patagonia. I haven't picked one up yet. So I did beat Lee on one thing, but I was messaging him today. I was messaging him today because I picked up a pair of Paul Smith jeans, and he was like, "Oh, I think you've undervalued it." Because on my video, I said, "Oh, I think I'm going to get about this," and then he showed me a price that he sold them, so I've aimed higher. And that's the beauty about what we do, about our community. Everyone is here to help each other.
Yeah.
And it might be an extra £6, $10 in my hand that I've got, but that adds up. And the more you help people, the more you go, by the way, you can get a little bit more. You can do this. Have you tried changing, rather than putting coat, have you put jacket? Using better describing words for certain items. And like, it's brilliant. Like, we're all helping each other as much as possible. So,
well, he's
awesome.
He's doing all right. He's part-time and he's just bought himself a classic Porsche. So
nice.
Yeah, he's got a nice Porsche.
He's called it his midlife crisis. So
maybe.
He's just done that. There's his link there. What's Dave saying? Dave's another good. You know, all the people that whether they're small channels. I mean, there's some of the guys in here have got 200-300 subs, but still amazing channels. You know, you don't have to have like untold subs to be amazing.
Oh,
you know, I find that I learn something different from each and every one.
Yeah.
No one knows everything, so we're always
like, you can learn something from everybody. I've had last night, the person that I had on mine, she just started her started her YouTube this week, so she has like 70 subscribers. But then a few weeks ago, like, Haley Tornado was on, and they have 250,000 subscribers. I mean, there's something that we can learn from both of them and from everybody in between, you know.
Definitely. But her reselling knowledge, it doesn't tell the story of her YouTube channel.
Yep.
And that's why she is exactly the idea of when someone's like on a small channel, it comes back to the old-fashioned saying, don't judge a book by its cover.
No.
If her channel came up there, you go, oh, she's only got 100 subs. She doesn't know what she's talking about. But her knowledge is years upon years upon years of knowledge of how to sell items. Like, a family's been doing it, all about her knowledge about getting into it. And this is the thing, like, you can always learn from people. And I think it's just really interesting kind of seeing different people's opinions. Like, some people, you might not learn about a product. You might learn how to list better. You might learn about how to photo items quicker, doing drafts, whatever it be. You know, there's a lot of people that will help your business for lots of different ways as well. I think there's a lot of channels I watched recently, and I'm just trying to watch channels whereabouts I buy clothing now. Last year, I made it upon myself to watch a lot of clothing resellers. So I'm now on the prowl to find someone else who's doing something differently. So I do. So that's why I kind of really enjoy watching the American channels, because you're picking up items that we wouldn't normally pick up. But it's not to say that that's not at the car boot sale. It just means that's not what we're normally picking up. And, you know, it comes back to the vintage furniture, like you said. There is a lot of stuff that's come over from America. It's like downstairs in my living room, my sofa is from America. Now, to you guys, it would just be normal size, but it takes up half of my living room. It's massive. But
really?
But I love the story of it, because when we went to pick it up for this house that I'm in, the guy had to take out his front window just to get the sofa out.
That's insane. Like, we're looking for a bigger couch right now.
Like, so if I'm 6 foot, well, say I'm 6 foot, I can lie down flat probably twice along it. So it's twice my height if I was lying down. And they said they flew it over from America. And that's sometimes what's cool about items that we pick up. And that's why I like the boot sales. And I imagine it's the same for you when you go to houses, learning like a story behind an item. And that's also a cool part of reselling, I think, sometimes. Just like going, oh, we've had this, you know, my son won this 20 years ago, you know, and he won it at a show, this, that, and the other. And then
the awesome part.
Yeah, the stories are awesome. There's no job like it, I don't think. There's no job like it.
And so it's saying about the smaller channels as well. I mean, you know, some people won't watch smaller channels, but I always relate it to eBay. And some people, you know, and I've done it myself in the past, when you see someone buy something with zero feedback and you think, oh, this is dodgy. Oh my. But everybody's got to start somewhere. Everybody started with zero. All the Jake Pauls and all the Casey Neistats. They all started
You're
with no followers. Everybody starts in the same place. We all start from day one. We all come out as a baby. We all start with 0 feedback on eBay, and we all start with 0 followers on YouTube.
Here he is.
Drew. Nice.
Drew's in the house. Nice to see you, Drew.
I heard you wanted to see a beard.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, I'm very good friends with Brian Blessed from Flash Gordon, and he's got a beard, but that is a beard.
Do folks in the UK, are they bearded like this? You'll have to stand up, Drew.
Some people have good beards.
Not as good as Drew's. There's not many people as good as Drew's.
Not as good as that is a good beard. We got Santa. He had a good beard. Santa Claus. We had him.
Santa does have a very good beard.
He's got an amazing beard.
Yeah, he's not going to pass for a Brit anytime soon because he's.
No, my accent will throw me off a little.
I don't know. You might be right. I will start saying, "Oi, cockles and wrinkles." Might be all right.
To be fair though, I've seen a lot of people with beards like Drew's got there, and sometimes you can band them up, and like make it quite small.
He does when he runs.
So
people flatten their beards like the
but they fold it in and then they put it in knots, and then it almost looks like a much smaller beard. I imagine Drew will be able to like blag it into the UK. He'll be like, "Yeah, I'm from the UK. I'm from the UK."
Just walk in, go like that. They'll let you in.
COVID who?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't worry about that. It's good to see you, though. Good to see you.
Definitely good to see you.
Say hi to you guys. We'll get him to be a reseller one day.
Question of the day, Drew. Very important question. How long did it take you to build the bed?
You say to build the bed?
The one I got from the thrift store?
Probably about 45 minutes.
Cracking work.
I brought it home and I started cooking dinner, and he built it while I made dinners, and it was done.
I let our 5-year-old help at the end, so it slowed down just a little.
just a little. Now
I see what you mean about the country voice.
Yeah. Just a little.
Singing a very good singing voice.
Yeah, I'm from Tennessee, not Missouri, so
it's
nice.
A little different.
Like where he grew up is about an hour from Nashville.
Come from Tennessee.
Yeah, he's only an hour from Nashville, Tennessee, where he grew up. So
now one more question about when you built that bed. You had the Allen key. You had the Allen key, and you said, "I'm going to throw it away."
The one tool that they gave me.
Now, my heart dropped when you said that. Have you kept it, or did you just throw it away? Did you throw away the Allen key, or did you keep it?
I think I gave it to our youngest. I let him have it after I was finished.
I was thinking, what if you want to take it apart? So what we've done with our Allen key is, like the lap that goes in between the bed the long way.
You're smart. Yeah. I see where
we sellotape it on there on all the beds that we have in the house. Because if you ever need to dismantle it, that's whereabouts your key is all the time. So you don't have to then buy one off Amazon or whatever you buy.
We were going to rip it apart with our hands if we ever needed to take it.
I was just going to.
Fireworks.
I just set it on fire. Right there.
I tell you what, we've got it all wrong in the UK. Like we're logical in our little houses.
Yeah, you just break it and throw it out the window.
Break it, throw it out the window.
Exactly.
Rachel will get another one for $10. It'll be twice the size in a thrift store.
Exactly. The mattress costs more than the bed.
It's really good. Really good.
It's amazing.
Really good to meet you.
You too.
Yeah. So do you enjoy the reselling as well?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I think I look for different things than Rachel does whenever we go, because she wouldn't have bought the big metal box fan that I saw just sitting in the garage.
Yeah.
And for $8, and I was like, well, they're $150 online, so
nice.
Wow.
I had already walked by it the day before at the estate sale, and I went back on the second day and brought him, and I thought maybe he wanted the fan for himself. I was like, why do you have that huge, like this enormous box fan? And he's like, they're $150 online, because
the chrome one with the big blades on it?
No, it doesn't look special at all. It's just this box. It's a square box, and it is metal, but it's not like a flashy metal chrome. It's painted metal. It looks there's nothing special.
It's probably like a 60s, 70s.
I feel
maybe.
like it didn't even look that old.
maybe 80s. Just a General Electric fan, about 2 foot by 2 foot. You know.
But I bet it worked. It turned on because it was built.
I've used it in my garage while it's
it was built 40 years ago. That's the thing. And this comes back to what you were saying, Rachel, about quality.
Yeah.
The way items were built back then, whether it's electronics or whatever it'll be, it'll turn on, it'll work. And then if it doesn't work, it's a very, very simple fix half the time. Yeah. You know, it's normally just a solder job or
the older things. They run forever. They run forever, these things. We've also got, is it Shay?
It's handy having him around too, because like if the fan hadn't worked, then he'd been able to fix it, you know, since he's an electrician. So he tests my electronics, and if there's something wrong, I'm like, can you fix it?
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I do my best.
What a team. What a team.
What a team.
Just have to get a kid to allocate the kids a little job each, and you'll be sorted.
Our oldest son cleans the tennis shoes, and he gets $5 a pair if he cleans the tennis shoes.
That is a genius idea. I might say to Holly, who's 4 years old, my daughter, I might say when she gets a little bit older, when she's 8, I might say the conversion still works out as £1. So that's like $1.30.
Yeah, there you go.
We've got Shay. Is it Shay? MD Big? I'm sure it's Shay. Evening, Shay.
Evening, Shay.
Good afternoon. Where you are?
Good afternoon.
Shay, because you know Shay, don't you, Rachel?
Yes, I do. Yeah. She's a Yankee. We'll call her a Yankee because she's not a Southerner. She's in Maryland, so she's super sweet.
Oh yeah,
Richard, you might need to catch up just a bit,
because I'm trying to get through.
I think one of Santa's super chats. I don't know if you caught it because there's a couple of super chats that are going through.
I hate missing people's.
It's so hard not to miss chats, and trust me, guys, he doesn't mean to. There's just always so much going on.
Yeah,
got Michael in ex-gov. We always dress up when we.
It was nice to meet y'all. I'm gonna go check on the kids.
Thank you very much.
And you, Drew. We'll make sure later on in the year we do a Drew special. So
there you go. Sometimes we do like quizzes and would I lie to yous, and we do some fun stuff. So what we do is we'll get you on with Rachel at some stage.
Definitely. We've got a new game show coming out, which is like task related.
Just bring your beer with you, and we'll be.
Yeah, definitely bring your beer. And we've got. It's going to start potentially next month, but sometime in a couple of months we'll get you guys back on, and it's going to be task related. There'll be 3 other resellers, and you're all going to be doing different tasks.
Like too much.
So, but I think Drew could be a very strong competitor because he's very logical. So I'm putting it on you to win.
Okay, I appreciate that. Nice. I'll try to win.
So Sean's saying chat poll, the lads look like crap pub bouncers or bank managers.
No, you guys look excellent.
I'd rather be a crap pub bouncer than a bank manager.
No, I'll take bank manager. No, I'll take a bank manager because I know how much the wages are. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I know the bank manager wages. So we've got Stu in. Hi, Stu.
Hi, Stu. Stu's also another comedian. Stu's another comedian.
We get loads of them. I'd love to thrift in the United Kingdom. Either of you guys ever think about sourcing in the US? I would love to because I've got relatives in the US. I've got some aunties and uncles and cousins that they did live in New Rochelle in New York, and they've now moved to Florida. So free holiday in Florida, bit of thrifting. I can't pass that up, can I?
I think me and you were having a chat the other day, Richard, weren't we, about in a couple of years potentially going over there. And me and Richard are massive fans, and I say massive fans of a particular film that came out pretty much the year I was born, which is The Goonies. And we both have said that we would like to, in the next couple of years, once COVID calms down, we'd like to do the Goonies, like the Goonies route. So you can go to the prison, you can see the houses, you can see the islands, and we'd like to go out there and do it properly. Slash reselling and thrifting whilst we're there. But yeah, that's something we're going to do in a couple of years.
That's cool.
Yeah. We're going to be the Goonies.
We are the Goonies. We are the Goonies, but I'm not doing the truffle shuffle.
Oh, well.
We've got Z here in. Hi, Z. How you doing?
Hi, Z.
We've got Don in. Don's now Yorkshire mix. So we've got Kez in as well.
Hi, Kez.
Amanda's saying, I'd love to source in the US. It's on my bucket list because the thrift stores just look. They look like our supermarkets. They
look incredible. That
they
honestly,
call some of them super thrifts. Yeah,
wow. They look absolutely incredible. Like they're like I'd say, like, what would you say, like 2%, 1%? 1% is not even 1%. Probably 0.5% is like the size of our normal charity shops. Like they're just massive.
Everything's bigger here.
Yeah,
it's like just they look massive because when Krillin comes on, Rob, he usually sort of takes us around the thrift stores and that. These things are humongous. It's just unbelievable, and the amount of stuff in there, I'd have a field day. I would have a total field day. I'm trying to get through this. GBP.
Come on, Daniel Bedingfield. You've got to get through this.
Got to get through this.
Oh, there he is.
Here he is. There's Rob.
Hey.
How you doing, mate? How you doing?
So I have a question then, Rachel. So
sure.
To anyone who is in our chat who is potentially looking to do reselling or is in the early stages, what 3 pieces of advice would you give to a new reseller? So, i.e., you've come across, us for the first time. You're not necessarily looking to do this as a full-time income, but you're looking to get into this for an extra source of income. What 3 tips would you give for someone starting out that you could tell them with your knowledge, your vast knowledge?
Sure. So the first piece of advice, I may kind of negate the other 2, because my very first piece of advice would be not to take all the advice you're given, because what works for my store doesn't work for your store, and vice versa. Like I have some controversial business practices. I don't offer returns, and I have a 2-day handling time, and some items I may offer free shipping and some I don't. So if you grabbed onto one reseller's vision of how their store should run and you tried to do yours exactly like that, it may not work for you depending on what you're sourcing, what is plentiful in your area. So that's the number 1. Don't take everyone's advice as the absolute gospel. Use it as a trail mix and pick out the pieces that work for your store, because everyone's different. Number 2 would be to figure out a strict budget and stick with it. Like I just told the story about spending $2,000 on these shoes. Let me tell you that it has been 5 years of reselling before I would ever become comfortable with spending $2,000 on shoes. It was only a few short years ago I wouldn't spend more than $5 on an item. That was the top. $5 or less, or I'm not sourcing it, because I didn't have the experience to handle items that cost more than that. I didn't know, shipping insurance. I didn't know how to properly ship things yet. There's so much more error. Like the chance for error is so much greater in the beginning. Let those mistakes be made on $5 items.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Third, I guess, would be to definitely immerse yourself in like the reselling community, be it, YouTube, Instagram, because there's so much that you're going to learn from other people. Half the things I pick up, I feel like I learned about from someone on Instagram or someone on YouTube, and it makes you feel a lot less lonely. And it gives you encouragement and motivation, and then eventually the discipline to list every day.
Yeah, no.
I've just seen Stu's comment.
What Rachel's? Oh, Rich. No, Rich is from
Rich is from South, where everyone is posh and get out of the bath to have a wee. James is from North, where they don't even get out of the bath for a poop.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It's true. That's true. That is true. But also to add to that comment, though, Stu, that's why we only have a bath once a year. So things don't get messy. Once a year we all go together. It's normally a family occasion. We all jump in the bath and have a wash up. I'd say that's cracking. I'd say it's really it's really good. That was really good answers there, Rachel. I'd say they're quite nice and diverse. But I agree with you, actually. Don't listen to what everyone else is saying and be you. Budget is a fantastic idea, and I've gone through that. Now I've just become full-time within the last 2 months. And when I started, I was exactly the same as that. I wouldn't buy items. I would never pay more than £10. I think the most I paid from an item, which was £6, which is like $8. And to me, that was a lot of money because I was worried that if it went wrong, if I didn't know if I was going to get conned. I was worried about all these pitfalls.
Right.
And then when I did learn them lessons, you hit the nail on the head. It's better to learn that about an item that's cost you £4, say $6, $3, rather than something that's cost you $100.
Yep.
Because you know how to, and also you know how to speak to eBay. It's like I had a very weird scenario today, and I'm going to ask you, Rachel, whether or not you think this is a con or there was some kind of. I'm potentially thinking about doing a video about this, but I had an open return happen Monday, and it didn't say why. It just came back a return. I had a shipping number, so obviously they sent it tracked. And then today I got a text. It said, "Oh, your item's been received. You need to refund the buyer." And I went, "Oh, that's odd. I've been in all day. I haven't received this particular item." So my brother lives next door. So I messaged my brother. I messaged my other neighbor. Said, "Have you received the parcel?" They said no. And then when I checked the tracking number, basically I live in Lancaster, which is like high up in the UK. The other person lives, say, in London. Now the item was shipped. I sent it to London, and then the item was returned back to London. So they posted an item, say, to an auntie or an uncle, okay, which is really weird, really sus. This is the return address.
Wow.
And I rung eBay and I said, "Oh, this has happened. It seems a bit odd that it's not come to where I live in Lancaster. I can't see where it's been sent, but I can see the area." And I said, "Oh, that's a bit weird." Anyway, eBay, what they decided to do in the end is I've not had to give the buyer any money. The buyer's received a full refund.
And you get to give your money.
But I think the buyer's still got the shoes. So I think the buyer's...
You may be right. I wish that eBay wouldn't do that.
Because I think eBay should be then questioning that account. Why did that buyer send a pair of shoes to another address in their area?
Yeah.
So I was lucky that I had my due diligence and I went there and I knew what I was going to say. And I said, "This doesn't add up right. I'm not willing to refund the customer." And then she said, "Oh, well, I agree with you." But had I not been a confident person and been confident to speak on a phone and learned all them lessons prior, I might have thought, I could have gone on autopilot and gone, "Oh, I can't prove it. I'm going to have to refund them. I have no other option."
Right.
So it's so good that you learn them lessons right at the beginning.
And learn them cheaper.
Yeah, learn them a lot cheaper. Yeah,
definitely. Thank you, Santa, for the super chat. You're amazing. I have heard of Mick Foley.
Mick Foley. Yeah, Mick Foley's Cactus Jack.
Yeah,
he did Mankind as well, wrestler as well, and he did did another one I can't think of it. But yeah.
Dude Love.
That's it. Dude Love, that's the one.
I see. I know all these things.
Why did it say Dude Love? Did it?
I read Santa's chat. Cha-Ching King is in Central Texas, 1,200 miles back to the high school in Minnesota, which is still a 5-hour drive to Canada. I'm still a 9-hour drive to Mexico. Wow. That country is massive.
It's large. I've only been to, I think, 26 states.
Wow.
And we travel a lot.
Yeah. So it's because I know it was Hawaii 5-0 because Hawaii was a 50th state. Is it 51 states or is it 52?
Well, Puerto Rico is an American territory now. But we have territories all over. I mean, there's islands in the Pacific that most people would never even know of that are territories, but Puerto Rico is considered, 51.
Your husband, I don't understand the man in the UK. Little sense to me. I've got viewing as well.
That's why I've been sensible. I've done a little bit of reading up this evening regarding our exchange rate. So as I learned when Little Miss Q went on here, I was like, it can be quite well. What amount is that? How does that add up? Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm kind of constantly flipping the money back from the UK to the US, just because it can be a little bit misleading. Because sometimes we see items sell, or I see items sell on Instagram, and I go, "Whoa, you got that!" And then when I look at the exchange rate, I go, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense."
Yeah,
I think it's about 1.32 at the minute.
It's 1.34 or 132. Yeah.
We've got Ross in. Hi, Ross. Hi, all. I love the USA. Tried to get to Florida twice a year. I fit right in there, a little crazy, but off to Las Vegas this year, do a little gambling and going to watch UFC live.
Brilliant.
Just don't end up on the roof of the Bellagio. Like they
Yeah,
did
no,
in the
don't do
Hangover.
that.
Yeah, like they did in the Hangover. And
don't go and steal.
And don't end up in the octagon in the
Don't
UFC.
Because Mike Tyson's Tiger.
Do not steal Mike Tyson's Tiger. I agree with that.
It's a good tip. It's a good tip.
Always a good tip.
Rachel, you were about to say something. Sorry for cutting you there.
Oh no, you're fine. It was you were talking about the exchange rate, and it's so funny. This morning, my family, we were all in the kitchen, like at breakfast, and I said, so like what all should we talk about on this show? What? And I kid you not, my husband turns and says the metric system. And it started up this whole conversation, and I just have to tell you, when I think about the metric system, what I laugh most about is that you guys say how many centimeters tall you are, and I think it's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard that you would measure.
I can't work that out. I just say
I can't work that out. I can't work that out. Yeah.
Why isn't there something between a centimeter and a meter? Like we have a foot. Okay,
yeah,
so
we have a foot. Yeah.
7.
Yeah, that's what we say. We say foot.
I do foot and inches.
Yeah.
King Scott.
In the north, we definitely say foot. Yeah, that's why I said 6 foot before. But that's why before I said I'm 6 foot and I'm twice the for my sofa. So that was pre. So I've already covered myself off with that one, Rachel. I'm all right.
Does eBay have global shipping in the UK? Yes, we do.
Yes, it does.
Can you ship worldwide from the UK? Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. And I imagine it works like everyone else's GSP. Yeah. It's just got to get to a certain point, and after it gets to that, it's then eBay's responsibility from there onwards. If it's broken, stolen, goes missing, you can claim back via eBay. Not always simple, not always easy, but you've got to be firm.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm just trying to find that other super chat as well, because there was another one. I don't know if
there was. I know. I'm trying not to interrupt you so you can make it through the chat.
No, that's fine. Don't worry. No, you can. Oh, there it is. Oh, it was Rob. She's in a place called Flyover Country. Nobody actually goes there, but the cost of living is about 5 times cheaper than the coast. Oh, there you go.
I mean, that statement is not wrong. We are what a lot of people would consider flyover country, but my mortgage is less than $600 a month. So
that's brilliant.
Far North.
I to that, Rachel. I'm in the same situation. That's why I live where I live.
It's good.
I've seen Far North Thrift. Is that Anfisa?
Yeah, she's in Alaska. Yeah.
There you go. Dave's just saying Alaska. Got to see Far North Thrift. Yeah, I knew it was Anfisa. I do know some things.
Oh, to Richard, names and people you're amazing at. If that made you money, you would literally be a millionaire. Or you would be a millionaire.
Well, it'd be nice. I'd still have my ticket stubs from Smashing Pumpkins' first UK tour to support the album Gish at the Astoria. Nice.
Wow, nice one, Sean. That's a brilliant shout.
What sort of music are you into, Rachel? Since we're talking music,
mainly Christian music is what we listen to. If I listen to secular music, it would be like old school stuff, like old Johnny Cash or old Frank Sinatra or something like that.
Nice. Get the Rat Pack.
Yeah. I have a record player down here, and like I'll play the Carpenters, or just really some beautiful.
You still play vinyl?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
Do you listen to much Shinedown at all?
No.
No. Oh, Shinedown are quality. No. I only say that because you feel like you've got that rocker in you. Yeah. And Shinedown's quite Christian, as in the sense of that. I think a lot of that turned his life around because he was like into drugs and stuff like that. And gotcha. I know a lot on his gigs he talks about how it helped him and became a better person. So I'm gutted. That's probably one of the reasons I'd like to live in America to go see them.
Nice.
Especially now with COVID.
See, I'm totally different.
COVID's rubbish.
I'd like to go to America and see Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, that would be cool.
It's a bit different for me. See, I like all these. But then I'll listen to a bit of classical. I'll listen to anything from classical to rock to whatever. I'll listen to anything.
We can go there and then we can go to Slipknot after. That'll be quality. Go see Corey. Corey's awesome.
Yeah, I started listening to a bit of Slipknot a few years back, and my stepdaughter was horrified, and she was a bit going through a goth stage at that stage. Yeah, she was mortified.
There's a Christian band called 1,000 Foot Crutch that would be like a comparison to that.
Oh, wow.
Maybe you could sneak that into her repertoire, and she'll never.
Yeah. Oh, that's
well, because we're the next town down from where we're sort of next door to where we are. Literally, it takes 2-3 minutes in the car. And they had a religious rock group there called, I think they're called Delirium or Delirious. They lived in the big and they had the biggest house in the town. Actually, they lived in the big mansion. I think they've moved now, but yeah, they were quite good. Kez has subbed to you, Rachel. So hopefully,
nice.
I mean, we're not going to make a lot of difference, but if you get some,
I bet you will. I mean, I'm sure that most everyone that is subscribed, like, we haven't heard of each other. You know what I mean? Like, my subscribers, maybe haven't heard of you guys. Yeah. Yours haven't heard of me. So that's awesome.
That's awesome. That's a good thing about it. That's such a good thing. We're ever expanding. Mm-hmm. And I say, 2 years ago, I mean, I started reselling. I was made furloughed during the first lockdown, and literally on the 1st of April, I was put on furlough, and then literally a week later I found out my brother was ill, and then I started selling my own stuff. And obviously, because I wanted to spend more time with my brother and take him to treatments, and fingers crossed, you always hope that someone's going to get better. And so that's why I ended up, it sort of gave me the leap, was the sort of 6-7 weeks that I had on furlough. And I could see that I had that sort of that platform where I could sell my own stuff and see that I could do it, if you see what I mean.
That's awesome. And
obviously I went back, give my notice, did 2 weeks and left. And I think I've been reselling for nearly 2 years now. And actually, because I started really getting into doing the YouTube, and I found it so much easier. I struggled with Vlogmas this year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This leads me on to the next question. I wanted to ask Rachel this. I wanted to ask a two-part question. First, how did you find? Yeah, that answers it. That answers the question. How did you find it, and would you do it again? Good. High five, everyone, to not doing Vlogmas again.
If Vlogmas was in the middle of July, I might consider it. But as a parent, December's already crazy enough. There wasn't a night that I went to bed before 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Let's all be cruel, though. Let's all be cruel. Remember, when people say I'm thinking of doing Vlogmas, remember, guys. Oh, yeah, it's a really good idea. Yeah. Oh, you should definitely do that.
While we're on the subject, I'll just stand back. But you're doing you're doing something at the moment, aren't you? Would you like to tell us what you're doing at the moment, James?
Yes, I have a massive confession. I've got, is it 3 dubs or dub, whatever in my heart. I have failed. I have failed on something, and I need to announce it on Saturday Night Live in front of all our 90 watchers as we're currently speaking. At the start of the week, John invited me to do the Burpee challenge. He said, would you like to join us in doing the challenge? So you're doing 1 to 100. So day 1, you do 1 burpee. Day 2, you do 2 burpees. Day 3, you do 3 burpees, all the way to 100. It would work out that we do 5,000 burpees over the period. I'm going to be honest with you. I got to day 3. I completely forgot. Day 4, I completely forgot. I failed. I have failed the burpee challenge. No. I'm going to admit it. I failed the burpee challenge. I'm really, really sorry, John. I'm sorry, everyone in the chat. I've let you all down.
I feel like you should start over again.
But no. But there is a but. What I have not failed on, and I'm very proud of myself because of this, I said I would go to the gym 4 times a week. I even said to my wife today when we went for a walk, I have not missed a day in the gym when I could go. I said I'll go Monday. I can't go Tuesday because I got my daughter. So I'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I have not missed a gym session. I have gone there. I've done a good hour and a half. I've gone on the treadmills. I've done the weights, and I've been consistent. And I thought to myself, I would rather be consistent going to the gym than worrying about some challenge. So what I will do is next year, when John shouts it out, I will try my best to fit that in. But let's just stick to me going to the gym this year.
You're try your best to say no, like I did.
I like to challenge myself, but I think just going back to the gym, I think, is enough on its own. Anyway, I think I've been out of the gym for 8 months, so to get back into it. To be
honest with you, Rachel, it was James that got me doing. He roped me into Vlogmas. So
really?
There was no way he was roping me into a burpee challenge. It wasn't
the burpee challenge. Like, I would rather do 1,000 burpees in one day than try to do them at, like 3.5 months worth of burpees. My husband and I, we're distance runners, we're ultra marathoners, and so I understand the challenging part of it, but like, just get it over with. I mean, we've done run streaks where we ran every day for 50 days or whatever. And like, he's had 200-mile attempts this year, but to think of doing 67 burpees and then the next day doing 68 and then the next day doing
attempted to run 200 miles.
He attempted 100 miles twice, so he had 2 different 100-mile attempts.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many breaks do you get?
You don't get breaks.
You don't get breaks. Don't get breaks. I think my friend Rob would love you guys. That's what he does. Like, triathlons. He does. He does whatever the one whereabouts you get the tattoo from. I forget what it's called, but he's got a couple of tattoos from like the ultra marathons. But he does like the big ones. Whereabouts you do a full marathon, then you do a full this and a full this. Ironman, the Ironmans. He does Ironmans all the time. He's done it in Wales. He's done it in Scotland.
I just think it's so fun. Like,
the Ironman is amazing.
I know how far I can run, but I've not yet ran a race where I couldn't finish it. So I don't know how far I can't run. So I have to keep going until I figure that out.
Rachel, this could be it now. You could start running this evening like Forrest Gump did, and you could start. This could be it, Rachel. Go in your sequin outfit. Go.
Well, I kind of feel like I'm in good company because everyone always says, "What's your furthest like distance run?" And no one ever understands it until I convert it. But it's 60K, so you guys know 60K.
So you're saying the Forrest Gump reference now. When Drew started that 100 miles, was he clean shaven?
Yeah, he was.
That's how he finished.
So his last 100-mile attempt, though, like, he was set to pick me up at mile 60 because I crew him and he crews me if we're at different races. And so he was supposed to pick me up at mile 60, and then we would run the next 30 miles together just so I could like keep his spirits up. And then so that's an ultra marathon in and of itself. We would have both done an ultra that day, and all I'm doing is crewing him. And then at mile 90, he was going to drop me off and finish, but he had an injury and wasn't able to complete that.
That is some crazy mileage. I used to think I was really good, like some asthmatic, and I used to run just to build up my stamina and keep my lungs strong and stop getting wheezy. And I used to think I was really good, like at fitness, running 3 miles before a 2.5 hour workout in the gym, and I'd do it every day. Like,
a 5K is great,
but like, God, I couldn't do 100 miles.
Yeah, you could. You just have to train for it. You could do anything you set your mind to. We did one. It was just 24 hours on up this mountain in Tennessee. That was like a 1.1 mile. And so you just keep going up the mountain and see how many times you can cover it in 24 hours.
Wow.
And we were exhausted. I completed like 32 miles that day. And I think Drew hit 50 miles on that day. And that was 1,000 feet of elevation every mile.
That's crazy.
Wow.
It was
That's
nice.
Amazing. What? God, you're fit. You're fitter than what I am.
I need to. I feel like I need to sleep. I feel like I need to step my game up. But I've got to be getting to the gym and I've got to build it up there. But
you're doing awesome.
I'd like to join my friend and do an Ironman.
Yeah, it'd be so great.
I'm Tough Mudders.
I'm 34. I'm 34 this year. So if I could do it before I'm 40, or maybe even on my 40th, build myself up to that level.
Do it on your 35th birthday. I mean,
yeah, it'd be cool to do. It'd be cool to do it with my mate, because it would be quality just to do it together with him, because I know he can do it. Like he just does marathons in the morning. Sometimes he gets up at like.
It's just so fun to run with people, though. He would love to do that with you, I'm sure.
Yeah. I might I'm going up to see him in Scotland in a couple of weeks. When I do, I might even have a chat with him about putting a 2-year plan in place. And that'd
be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be quite cool. That'd be pretty cool.
James Gump.
Yeah. I'd like to do it in like America, because you see some of the really, really nice ones like in like Miami and stuff like that, whereabouts it's like the nice beaches, and you're like,
oh yeah,
I'd like to go jogging in that lovely temperature. But then also part of me is like, I'd probably like to do it in Wales, whereabouts we are, with the colder temperature, because you are so warm when you're actually jogging, you get so hot. So the fact that you'd naturally have that, it would probably help you in a colder climate.
About 50 degrees, 50 degrees Fahrenheit is like the perfect running temperature.
Nice. I don't care. Shorts and flip flops. I'll be all right. I'll be fine. We got Scott. The coolest UK items I found and sold were some bookends and an ashtray from Robert Mouseman Thompson. Is that the ones that he carves, and he carves a little mouse into every piece that he makes? I think
that's cool.
I think that's Mouseman, because my brother bought don't know whether it's an ashtray or cheese. It was something. It was a bit of ashtray or cheese board or something like that, and it had the little mouse carved into it. I'm sure Mouseman is the guy that he carves a little. Even if he makes a wooden chair, he'll carve a little mouse onto everything.
That's so funny. He said yes. Scott said yes. That's it.
Ah, there you go. Yeah. So I do know. I've got knowledge on that one.
I'm gonna look for the mouse now.
Thanks, Santa, by the way.
That's really good money. That stuff as well, Mouseman. Really, cool. Really good money. We've got Lisa K 100. That's a new name to
American.
Me. There you go. See, nice to have you in.
If we can drop some our YouTube's channels, Sean, if you could just like do what you normally do, mate.
Drop links, and look, guys, if you've got a YouTube channel or an Instagram and you want to drop a link in the chat, please drop the link in the chat. If not, one of the mods will do it for you. So you can start whacking the links in. Why not?
Scott said he sold those bookends for over 700 and the ashtray for over 200.
Crazy money, I promise. I mean, it's really beautiful quality stuff.
I need to have a look at this. I'd love it the day when
you've probably
sell an item.
You've probably seen it on an auction and thought, oh, what's that? Like, you thought nothing of it. It's anything. Mouseman Furniture. I say you can get ashtrays, cheese boards.
Wow.
He does tables, I think, as well, and it always carves a little mouse onto it. It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I'd love an eBay goal for me would be like it'd be like $1,000. I suppose it's still the same, but I'd like to have that £1,000 sale. Like pick up something.
I had $1,000 sale.
Wow.
I bought some silverware, at an estate. There, like all of the cousins and sisters were there, and I said, "How much for the set of silverware?" And I thought it was silver plated, and they said $5 for the set. And the other people around were like, "That's kind of cheap." And I said, "Well, to be fair, it is." I was assuming I could make between like $60, $70 for it, and I said, "So how about $10?" And she said, "Okay." So I paid her $10. I get it home and start to looking at it, and it's not silver plated; it's Alvin sterling.
Wow.
And I sold it for $1,000 plus shipping. I paid $10 for it.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Rachel, well done on that. That's amazing.
It was great.
That's something, because it's like, it's a bit similar to what we said about Cola Flipper. Now his is like next level pickup, but for me, I'd like to do that. £20-30 put down and £1,000 flip.
Yeah.
I can, not to like blow your trumpet, but you can hit that £10 into 100 quite fairly. It happens more than not. Or you can get 5 into 60. That's quite
10 times your money. Yeah.
Yeah, you get 10 times your money more than what you realize, especially at the boot sales when you pay next to nothing. But I'd like to hit that £1,000. It'd be a nice payday just to kind of get that one time.
Yeah,
I've done it. I've had good paydays with the film props. When I first started selling film props years ago, and about 6 months before Troy came out with Brad Pitt and that, I bought Eric Banner's shield from it, and bought it off my brother for £600, and a guy in the States, funny enough, bought it for $3,000.
Wow.
My son is just getting into film props and stuff like that, and he's been talking about trying to buy like some of the superhero film props and stuff. I don't even know where he would find stuff like that though.
eBay, some people sell it. You've got there's a massive film prop guy. I used to do a lot of stuff with him. He's got a place over here, but he's also got a place out in California, I think. California. It is
Los Angeles, probably.
He's got a place called the Prop Store of London, and he gets all the decent stuff.
Wow.
So yeah, he gets some good stuff. But yeah,
the thing is, a lot of them are good to collect as well to get into, because a lot of it's only going to go up in value. Can you imagine?
Yeah, for sure.
Can you imagine when the first Avengers film came out, which is obviously not that long ago, but if you had like one of the original weapons, like say Hawkeye's bow or an arrow or Captain America's shield or part of his costume, like how them films have now become what they are.
Yeah. Well, I had a full Hydra soldier costume. I had a Hydra soldier stood in the corner there from the first Captain America film.
Wow.
And it had all the light up armor belts and backpack and everything on it.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Have you not looked at my Instagram, James? It's got the costume.
Well, I don't look at your Instagram. No.
He doesn't watch my YouTube videos.
I don't watch your YouTube videos. I don't even call you. I don't call you right now. This is all pre-recorded.
It comes to self-promote. That's all it is.
It's all green screened. I'm currently on a night out drinking.
Right. Oh wow. Cheers, Dave. Thank you very much. Can everyone in chat hit the thumbs up live? Thank you, mate.
Thank you, by the way.
Do that. Oh, there's my Instagram. Oh dear, this is just. I love all this. I just love it. It's learning new stuff and just. It's about having a laugh. I mean, because the reason I started the Saturday Night Live was, I don't know if you know the story, but I was just sat there looking for something on a Saturday night to watch, and there was nothing on YouTube, absolutely nothing. Telly, I mean, you've got hundreds more channels out there than we've got over here, so the telly's rubbish. So I don't actually watch telly. Couldn't find anything to watch on a Saturday night. No one was live, and yeah, I
think that may be the most British thing you said tonight was the telly is rubbish.
Oh, it's absolutely rubbish. Yeah, the telly's rubbish. It is absolute rubbish, and
definitely not anything you would ever hear over here.
No, there you go. But yeah, that's sort of where it came from. I just thought, I don't know, I was just sat there and I thought Saturday Night Live, and then I thought Saturday Night, because my name's Night with a K. And it just like and it's gone from a little thought sitting in my living room on a Saturday night to this.
Yeah, you have like such a nice loyal.
Rachel. I hijacked it. I hijacked this.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't even part of this. I wasn't even part. I was the first guest, and then we finished. I was the first guest, and then I said to Richard after I said I'm not going, so I stayed.
I've got like court orders and everything. Still can't get rid of it.
I refuse to leave.
The way me and James met was it was just over a year ago now, I think, and I was doing a live one afternoon, and I'd been talking to him in the chats and stuff, and it's suddenly popped up. I put the link in, he suddenly popped up, and since then we've just been like this, really.
You just can't shake him now.
No.
Can't get rid of him now. Can't get rid of him. I talk to him more than I talk to my wife.
Yeah, Rachel, you laugh at this. So the other day, the first time Richard, and he's laughing, like hysterically laughing, and I'm like, Richard, what's up? What's up? And he says, oh, his wife's just gone, oh, is it James?
Nice.
So I'm always in trouble. She goes, oh, it's James, isn't it? Ringing again.
Nice. Oh, dang.
They'll be having like a family meal. I'll be there.
She's like, we can get rid of this guy.
I'll just have him on video call.
Put video call on a tripod. You know, they plate me up a meal now.
There you go. That would be perfect.
Well, there you go. We've got Pat MCing. Irish eBay is totally useless. No promoted listing facility. Can't see any stats on traffic. Maybe one sale a week on it. A lot of people said that about the eBay in Ireland.
eBay.
Yeah.
Well, what do they use in Ireland other than eBay? What else do they have?
Yeah, well, I suppose you've always got your auction houses you can take stock to anyway, the old school ways. You have got boot sales, you've got your Facebook marketplaces, you know, you'll have other sites as well.
From an auction place in Dublin, actually. The only time I've ever been to proper Ireland, not Southern Ireland.
Think if I'm ever going to get lucky, Richard, I think my £1,000 item will come from that auction house. Yeah. And you know I've struck well on a lot of items recently, but all it takes, and we all know that, it just takes that marking on the bottom of a plate or on something you buy. And I feel that if I'm ever going to pull that item that's going to make me a lot of money, it's going to be when you buy a bulk lot of something and it's just mixed in there.
Yeah.
And then you turn it over and then you go, you go, what's that marking? And then you'll do your research and then you'll realize it's X, Y, and Z. It's nice. It's like items that have come from like that are like BC, like before Christ, like really old.
Yeah.
Like if you can actually date it, because some items are really, really hard to date and you kind of need it. And if you can get a certain type of figurine and it's seen in a book and some you'd be surprised like what you can get. Because I watched we have a program in the UK which is called the Antiques Roadshow.
Oh yeah.
And a guy bought this. I don't know whereabouts it's from, but he's just bought like a tribal figurine, and I think he paid £50, and it sold for thousands. I think it was like 10,000, 12,000 pounds on the show. And and he was like, he said, because it was like a celebrity special, so it was nothing big, and he just said, "Oh, get this, like pick this up, it'll do well in auction," and it just went bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's
that's awesome. Yeah, like you guys always talk about the variety of things that we have and like how big our stores are and stuff, but you guys have so much older stuff. There's not stuff like that here unless we brought it over. I mean, looking at, we're not gonna find something that's a BC item again unless a collector bought it from your side of the world and brought it over here. So just the idea that there is something even buried or that you could unearth something at an auction like that there is just incredible.
Yeah. We've got the Hoogs in. Good evening.
Hey, Hoogs.
The thing is, I watch a lot of do you watch anything on YouTube other than reselling? I watch all these urban explorers and stuff, and we've got castles in this country and we've got this and that, but like the urban exploring, the size of the derelict buildings and houses and mansions and stuff that you guys have got out there is crazy compared to here. It's such a big
why does everything need to be so big in America? Why?
But the urban exploring is just amazing. Like there's mansions and it's still got like some of it's still full of all the furniture.
Yeah,
it's still full of everything. It's absolutely crazy.
It's crazy the stuff people walk away from.
Yeah, what other videos other than reselling do you watch? Anything other than reselling or?
Yeah, I do, but there's not anybody that I can think of that it's just like I'll watch YouTube editing videos. Or I watch like Think Media. I'm so boring. Everything I'm watching is like,
I like Think Media.
Just stuff like that. Occasionally I'll click on a video that's just some comedy, but I don't know. Maybe I need to find an escape that I could just turn on something and just laugh. I can't think of any go-to.
Yeah. It was once when I first sort of started watching YouTube and that, it was all like Casey Neistat and like watching his vlogs and his style and his photography, and Peter McKinnon's amazing photographer in America. Absolutely amazing. Anything photography, Peter McKinnon's a man. Just things that are a bit different and that are going to sort of help me, because although I obviously enjoy the reselling, but I love the YouTube. I love making content. I love finding different things that other people haven't done before. I fly drones as well and do the drone videos and stuff, but it's just looking for those different things. I just think it's amazing.
Like putting your different spin on a sourcing video or a what sold video and trying to make that like 100%. How you could differentiate yourself.
Yeah, definitely. It's cool. What about you, James? What other videos do you watch other than reselling?
Probably watch a lot of. I watch a little bit of mainstream. So I watch KSI. They do the Sidemen and stuff like that. So I will watch that because I think the reason why I watch it on like Mr. Beast and stuff like that is because they spend thousands, if not millions, of pounds to make their videos. Like Mr. Beast did the Squid Games, and I think it worked out he spent something like 13. I might be wrong. 13 million, if not more. Like he basically, what Mr. Beast does, if you don't know about his channel, is he makes enough for himself and the people that he works with, but whatever he makes on YouTube, he just reinvests all that money into the next YouTube video. He constantly doesn't really have any money.
He gives away millions. He gives away
he gives away millions, but a lot of it gets reinvested on the quality of the video and for what
he's just obsessed with making the best video.
Exactly. So this is kind of why I like watching Marvel films. Now, obviously, I'm into superheroes, but if you're paying £5 or £10 or $10 to watch a film that's been spent millions of pounds, what a treat. Like, it's so cheap to watch something. So it's the same. So I like watching content like that. To switch off, it's probably it's less YouTube, probably more Netflix, but I'm a bit boring, and I've said it before, I'm a big fan of the US Office. So I'll that's my go-to.
I've never watched The Office. Like, I've never seen a whole episode.
I genuinely didn't think I would like it.
You know who I like is Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean's amazing.
Not everybody here likes him. I love Mr. Bean. My husband loves Mr. Bean, but not everyone here. Like, that's something that people look at you a little sideways when you say.
No, that's fine. No, I agree with you. Mr. Bean
saying hello, flicking the bean out.
When he goes to the shop and he can't fit the chair inside his car, so he puts it on top of the roof. And then he's driving his car down the street with a broom.
Everything he does.
The man's a genius.
And Teddy as well.
My son, was probably like a year old, and he already had his impression of the Teddy. Because my husband would say stuff, and he's just I love the old Mr. Bean stuff, but I even love like the movie where when he like drew the happy face over Winslow's mother.
Yeah, that was funny.
I mean, if you weren't in the floor like about to pee your pants laughing, then we can't be friends. That was hilarious.
Yeah. That was quality.
That was funny. Melanie's saying it's snowing. Snowing?
Yeah, I think she's in Texas.
Snowing in Texas? God.
It's a big state. Remember, northern Texas. They get some snow.
Yeah, that's true. Order the light box for smaller stuff. Glad to see Miss Q back.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see Miss Q. Yeah, definitely. We've been shouting out Miss Q. We've been shouting out Max, and Max come back in the chat.
Max and
he's in the chat. So I think that's pretty much everyone was shouting out about last week. So everyone's appeared. So I think what a lot of it's come down to, I appreciate COVID's been a big factor of things, but I also think some people have just taken the last 2 weeks just to kind of take their time after Christmas.
Yeah,
especially a lot of vloggers that did Vlogmas like us or did videos throughout Christmas. We probably didn't get a lot of our time, and people are probably just getting 5 minutes to themselves, just like kind of recouping from being
take a breath.
I found that with Vlogmas, like it was so heavily involved with it that sometimes you didn't get a chance to stand back and enjoy it. So I took 2 weeks apart from. So I've just put my first video of the year out today on YouTube.
Oh, gotcha.
But I wanted to take 2 weeks just to breathe and appreciate what I did, and just kind of get in the swing of things. You know, I'm really looking forward to this year. As I said, it's my first year of doing reselling full time officially. So I'm looking forward to kind of having a benchmark to go from. And it's a bit like you and running. Like once you've done your first 5K or 10K or marathon, you've got times. You go, right, I did my first mile at this, I did my second mile at that. I want to improve. I want to get quicker.
You're just like in competition with yourself.
So because I'm not going to compete against anyone but myself. I want to be a better version of me. So this year, whatever I hit, I've got benchmarks so that next year I can have my whiteboard downstairs and I can say January last year I did this, February
that's
I did
a good
this.
idea. I want to do that
and then I can kind of keep an eye on what I've got per year. So I'll have my yearly total. So I might have a really good July one year, but I've got 12 months to catch up and beat myself.
Right.
And it's a bit like the gym. You might not always be able to kind of beat yourself with value. So what you might be able to do is you might be able to work out how many items sold, how much did I get? So what I might be able to do next year, I might be able to sell half the items for a little bit less. So I've done less work, but I've more or less hit the same money.
Just raise your average sales price. Yeah.
So there's all that fun to do. And I'm really looking forward to this year to have 12 months of my figures, not, someone else's figures who I watch on YouTube who's turning over $250,000 a year. And I'm like, I'm lucky if I turn over 20,000. So,
Yeah.
and I'm really looking forward to this year a lot. And I'm going to vlog it. I'm going to vlog it, and then because I watched one of your really, really early videos was when you said, wasn't it like something like $5 or something? Can you when you started eBay from like $5?
Like you can start a business for $5.
Start a business with $5, and you did. And it goes to show you that if you've got all this history, and your channel is full of lots of good history, Rachel, and I must say, like anyone who isn't subscribed, please do. You've got all that to go, and that's what I'm looking forward to having in my channel. It's not there yet, but in 4 years or 3 years, I'll have all this amazing knowledge when I did year 1 of reselling, and then I'll look at myself going, I can't believe that's, I was doing this, that, and the other. I'll laugh at myself, and then hopefully
we'll do that. I will look back at.
But I'd like to be where you are, Rachel, in 5 years, and I'm saying this now in the chat, whereabouts I can put £2,000 down for an investment. At the moment, £100 is a lot of money to me. So if I was putting £100, I'd have to be wary of that. But yeah, £2,000. That's a nice 5-year plan. I'm putting that as my 5-year plan up there.
I'm telling you, it could be scary. Scott was right, by the way, Richard, that I learned everything from him.
Yeah.
Nice. Amazing.
I think someone else said that they learned from him as well. Is it the Hoogs?
The Hoogs, I've learned a lot from them too. And they probably learned a lot. So did we, Scott. Yeah, Scott is great. He picks up a lot of vintage, and he picks up vintage that you're not going to see anywhere. And I was talking about last night on my live that it takes someone who has a passion for vintage sometimes to sell vintage, because the details that I'm going to zoom in on are not things that the average person's going to see. But I love, the way the wool lays, or the way the buttons are, the pointed collar, or the pleat. And so those are the things that I'm going to photograph and detail in my description. And like, that's what gets a cool item sold.
Yeah. What do you think's most important on a listing? Do you think it's photographs, title, or description?
I think 170%. This is without a doubt the title is the most important item, because I was in a chat a few days ago where they were asking, is it the description or the photos the more important? And neither. If you don't get someone to see your item, they're not even going to see your photos or your description. And the only way to get them to see your item is that it has to come up in a search result. And on eBay, since we're not searching the body, the text, the description, your keywords, those 80 characters they give you, like, that is your currency on eBay. You're spending everything with those 80 characters. And if you, like, I sell vintage photographs. You can't just put picture. You have to describe in 80 characters exactly what that photo is so that a buyer will see it. So your keywords are indispensable. That is everything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I always thought it was the photos, but no, when you've explained it like that, obviously, if you put the right words in there, so it was what's going to bring it up in the first place.
Yeah, because you could have incredible... I was photos. I'll be honest, I'm not going to go, but I was all about the photo, because I thought that told the story. But I'd probably have to agree with your knowledge, Rachel. I think if it doesn't matter how good your photos are, if they're not going to see it, it's irrelevant. So brilliant shout, Rachel.
Yeah,
I sit corrected.
Yeah, those keywords.
Tristan, hello, mate. Tristan saying hello.
But that's also another part of, I think, a lot of resellers as well, is that we're happy to admit that we're wrong. We're happy to admit that we're learning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's what makes someone successful in any business.
Anything. You have to in life. Be willing to say, like, I'm not the smartest person in the room. Yeah. You have to be willing. Like, everyone wants to walk around in business like the alpha, but the second you humble yourself to not be the alpha, you're relenting to the fact that there's room to grow and to know something new and to learn things. You will be able to learn things. You can't learn anything if you think you know everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the people that do go out giving advice that think they know everything are not giving out good advice.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. I've been in a couple chats this past month, and I'm like, I don't agree with any of this. And everyone runs their business differently, but some of it's just erroneous information, and I'm just like,
some of it you might as well be reading someone a bedtime story, a bedtime fairy tale, because it's just stop talking.
Yeah,
and they really truly believe that they're right. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And like I always say, none of us know everything, and I watch different people's videos, and I learn something every day. You know, I'm not really got into clothing and stuff, but obviously James has just got into it. So now I've started looking at a bit of clothing. I was just anything vintage. I wanted anything vintage, anything old icing kits, like the really old icing kits, vintage furniture, vintage VCRs. I've got loads of vintage electronics. You know, it was all about that. But you know, I do want to learn about clothes. Game consoles and games and stuff I've not really learned about, but maybe that's just because I'm not really overly bothered about games.
Yeah, I don't want to sell stuff that I'm not passionate about, because that's when it starts to feel like a job. My current job, like, you know, doing what we do in reselling and telling people about it on YouTube, that's fun. The second that I would go to like an Amazon return store and start pulling newer items, I have friends that's all they sell and they make 6 figures a year. I wouldn't want to sell one of those items, because in my opinion, I may as well clock into someone else's dream, because that's not my dream to sell that stuff.
Yeah.
I could make it.
I'd agree. I think that's what I've fallen in love with the business for, is that you're always learning and you're getting to buy the things that you want. It's like today, I went to my first boot sale of the year. I came back with 3 items, 4 items, but one that's just I've put aside anyway for something else. But 3 items. One of them was a pair of Hunter wellies. The first thing I did, because I knew they were size 7, the UK 7, I brought them to my wife and I said, "What do you think of these? I know that they're your size, and I know that I think you'll like them." And she went, "I love them." I went, "They're for you." Like Hunter wellies,
boots, the rubber boots.
Yeah,
like Hunter boots.
Yeah, Hunter boots. Yeah. Hunter boots.
Did you call them wellies? Is that what
you
wellies?
Yeah. Wellies or Wellingtons. Yeah. Welly. Oh, welly boots. But boots to us is like walking boots. That's like a shoe.
Yeah.
But then this is us selling on different platforms. No wonder people buy my wellies all the time. I was like, I've never heard this word.
Can I pause you for just a second? Because you have to realize how important that is when you're putting that description in there. What if I'm selling Hunter boots? I need to know that keyword. Yeah. If I like in Australia, they call sweaters jumpers.
Yeah. So do we.
And so I need to put the word jumper in a pullover sweater.
That's a brilliant shout. So if I'm selling Hunter wellies online, I need to put Hunter wellies, Hunter boots. That's a brilliant shout. Otherwise, I've just lost pretty much all of my US buyers.
Yes.
Awesome shout, Rachel.
We just broke the internet right now, guys. We just
so I brought in these Hunter boots to my wife, and she was like, she's in love with them. She's like, I'll have them.
Oh, great.
And then the other day I brought this Patagonia, and I love this Patagonia. And I was like, oh, I love this. And she's like, no, it's too old, man. You're not having that. That's going up for sale. So I brought back this North Face jacket.
Yeah.
And I bought 2 of them this morning. She said, that's for you. I tried them both on. So today I went to the boot sale. I bought these items, and all of them are getting kept. So I'm getting high on my own supply.
Yeah, that's my trouble sometimes. Like if I find Gucci, that's the brand that I collect. Gucci and some vintage Coach. I don't like modern Coach, but if I find Gucci, I'm like, it's never getting listed. I've listed one Gucci item because it was too similar to the belt I already had, and I picked it up for $2 and sold it for $300. I was like, well, it's so similar to mine. Would I rather have the belt or $300? And so I sold it. But no, if I find it, I'm keeping it.
We got Sean down the bottom. He's saying, I agree with James. I've been trying to get a refund out of Knight's Life for ages now. He keeps insisting I'll buy something first, but I think he's just stalling.
That sounds like it could be a scam. I'm gonna say
there you go. Yeah, just a bit.
I wonder if we all created a dud account and messaged 100 eBays and just saying, please can I have a refund? But you don't buy anything. I wonder how many of them would fall.
The Hoogs that just commented, Connor, I think, had just posted about something that he sold, and it was like $23 plus shipping. And the guy sends him a message asking for a refund, and he said, "Well, you haven't actually paid for the item yet. You bought it, but it was still pending payment." And the guy sends him a message and is like, "Just refund the money, no questions asked." It's like, you never pay for it. There's nothing to refund.
Isn't that crazy? That's amazing.
Wow, Sean's saying, only been to the States 7 times, always a load of fun since my uncle, who was an actor in LA for 50 plus years, passed, not been back. think his most known role was Mr. Pitt in Seinfeld. Really?
Wow.
Blimey.
That's really cool.
That's it. See, learning stuff new every day, even people we know. It's not until you have conversations with other people and start talking about different things that you learn even more stuff from people you already know. We already know.
Oh, that's a good point.
We didn't know that about him.
I've already got on my list here this evening.
Thanks, Lee.
Wellies are not called wellies; they're called boots.
No, they're not. And see, I wrote down to call them wellies now. So
see, Wellington boots, because the Duke of Wellington.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently he invented them.
He wears them a lot. Oh, you say he invented them?
I think he invented them back in the day. Yeah, Duke of
and I've got to be careful when I sell tin foil. I've got to call it aluminum foil, so I've got to be careful.
Yeah. Nice.
It is funny though how like we all speak the same language, but yet we have different words, very slang different words.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. When I'm watching y'all's channel, I'm just like, sometimes I'm struggling to focus on like what you're actually talking about because I'm so captivated by the terminology in your vernacular, and I'm just like, did they just say such and such? And it's so neat to experience English language in a totally different way.
Bell saying, "Oh, you're Ant apparently. I'm Deck. Okay. I'm the short one." Scott saying the light thing, 5 Finger Death Punch. I think they're an amazing group. Everyone's
my husband brought up Skillet. Are you familiar with Skillet?
Yep.
No, I'm not.
Yep, I am. I know
they're
Skillet.
Christian rock.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's something slightly different. So Rachel, when I watch a lot of American YouTubers, it's not necessarily the pronunciations or what you're saying regarding the words. For me, it's when someone goes back to the house, and as you said there, for me, it's the size. It's people saying, "Oh, I'm just going into the garden," and it's like a woods. It's like
we have 6 acres of woods here.
Yeah, we have woods. That's what that's a prime example. So you'll be like, I'm just going into the garden, and you've got 6 acres of woods, and that's just your back garden. And it's just like, what?
That's our yard.
So that's where I am when I'm watching the videos. I think it's when they go to a shop, and I'm like, oh, we go charity shopping, and we'll go to, I don't know, 7 to 10 different shops for our day out. You guys could just go to one store, and that would be maybe a 4-part video.
Yeah, you could make a lot out of some of them.
And I think as you said there, it's so good to watch other resellers in different places doing stuff.
For sure.
100%. Drew's asking if we have country music in the UK. We do, but not on the scale of you guys.
No, Johnny Cash is awesome over here. It was awesome when he came over here.
We got nothing like you guys. And I like country.
Country's awesome music.
I like the older country a lot better than the newer stuff that they call country music.
Yeah, I used to listen to. Who's the one I used to listen to?
I like it to dance. A lot of country music. I like it because it's toe tapping. A lot of it for me.
It's not. I used to listen to. I can't remember.
It's not very bluesy. It's the opposite.
He sung "Standing Outside the Fire" and stuff like that.
Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. I used to love Garth Brooks.
Yeah, like that decade, 90s country and before is good music. Brilliant.
And I like, hang on, they were on I should know the name of it. The ones that done the
ABBA.
No. No, I nearly had the name then you threw me.
Take that.
They were on a Hannah Montana.
Rascal Flatts, maybe.
Yes, Rascal Flatts.
You said I can't think of who it is. I'm like, who? He said they. There's not many country music groups, so he has to be talking about Rascal Flatts.
They're really good as well.
Fleetwood Mac.
No, nice. There you go. Ching King's. There's Ching King's channel. I've seen people wearing his t-shirt, so I know people like his.
Yeah, he said he was surprised Drew wasn't wearing his t-shirt when he came down here because he said
I saw that. Is that James's new Patagonia coat? It is, but he's not allowed to keep it because he looks like an old man wearing.
Yeah, the wife went, "You look like an old man." Yeah, it's going up for sale.
Oh dang!
That's all right. He's got a better one now, probably.
Yeah, the North Face is quite nice. I've got 2 North Faces today instead of that one, so I think that's a good compromise.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Rachel, have you heard of Jars of Clay? My friend from the UK married the American lead singer. I think they are in Tennessee now. Wow.
Yeah, when I was like in high school, Jars of Clay was really a big deal. So
oh wow, really?
Yeah, that's like old school Christian rock music.
Married the the lead singer. Wow. Something else I didn't know. See, we're learning new stuff. This is what this is all about. I'm trying to get through this chat. It's such hard work. It's like a full-time job just trying to get through the chat. Yeah, I'm just trying to see where I am. What are we at?
I'm still supposed.
Scott said he feels like he's been dipped in culture just listening to the show.
I think you're about 15 minutes behind, so you might have to go double speed.
One of the girls that used to conduct the closings at the local title company for real estate, she is the British girl that I know, and she would conduct the closing, and like honestly, she could have not known. She was very smart. She knew exactly what she was doing, but she could have known nothing, and everyone would have been just captivated by the way she was saying it when she would tell us sign here and explain the mortgages and things. And everything she said sounded so educated because of her accent. You guys can get away with that.
When I was 18 or 19, I went to Oxford in London on a night out, and one of my friends came over from America. I used to play online games and stuff like that, and his dad was a pilot, and he basically got free air mileage. Wow, he said to us one time gaming with us, he said, "Oh, I'll come over and see you," and we thought he was joking, and he actually flew over and came to see us. So he came to see us in the north of England. I was in Scarborough at the time, and we just went on a night out. The best part was we pre-drank, and I never even made it to the night out. I couldn't handle my alcohol. I was like hugging the toilet, and then these guys went out on a brilliant night out. Anyway, the next day, he said, "I'm going to go down to go see my friends in Oxford or whatever," and they've got what happens is in Oxford and Cambridge is a lot of American students come over in the summer when we have our break to learn the English language. So the colleges and universities are always doing stuff, and the lectures are always happening. And so I went down with him, and on a night out, it was full of people from America and this, that, and the other. Anyway, I went out with about seven to eight university lads, all American, and we're on our night out. And I said, there's a lot of girls over there. I was like, we should get them all like to have a chat with us, like be lads and girls be girls. And they're like, "Oh, we know, I don't dare. And it's probably one of my proudest moments like I've ever done. I went over to like 12 girls, and I just went, I've got a lot of guys over here. I'd love to chat to you. I was like, there's no point in us being separate. Let's have a good night tonight, this, that, and the other. They were all American, and I can agree with you. They were more interested in my accent and the way I was.
They were probably captivated.
And for once, because I'm not exactly Brad Pitt, but for once, I had the choice. Yeah, I had the choice of the girls that evening, and they were all.
I can believe that.
I was like, these are the guys over here, and they were all like, no, we're just interested in you. So it was a very good night. It was a very good night.
Like, we see these American boys all the time. Say anything to me in your accent.
Yeah. It was a good night. It was a very good night.
So that's a good idea. Scott's saying we should do a collective Vlogmas next year. We get together with others, and each of us just takes one night instead of one person doing every night. That's a good idea.
That's a really good night.
Tag your it, and then tag the person in the description.
100%. I'm up for that.
I would do that.
Maybe that's something we'll have to organise, because that sounds a lot easier than doing.
Who's going to remember that in 11
months? Bagsy, not Christmas Day. Bagsy, not Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Which one of us is going to remember that? Someone.
Yeah, I'll remember that.
We'll remember that. We'll remember that. Yeah, alive every day, and there's enough. There's more than 24. We'll have 24 of us. We'll all go together.
Yeah.
And we'll get someone sensible. So yourself, Rachel. We'll put all our names in a hat, and we'll just do it that way. We'll pull out our names. So whoever has to do Christmas Day special. Then it's all the luck of the draw.
No,
But the benefit of doing that is if you're a small channel or a big channel, that is a brilliant network.
Yeah, I know. That's what I really like is just like supporting other channels, trying to encourage people to sub to a channel that you agree with and that you support, because like that could be night and day difference in somebody starting out on their YouTube, whether or not they want to continue. It's true that 1% of channels ever reach 1,000 subscribers. 1%.
Wow, is that really?
Yes, is that, I mean, that's crazy. So to be able to encourage someone in those beginning stages when it seems like no one's watching your content, like you could really change someone's whole outlook on their channel and on themselves, you know, their self-esteem.
Yeah,
that's me. That's me. My 500 subs. I'm getting there, guys.
You're getting there. That's awesome. 500.
No, definitely. No, I love it. And to be fair, I've said to Richard, I'm all about. I enjoy doing my content, and I've kind of got a goal this year. I've set. I can't control how many subs I have this year. I can't control how many watches I have. But what I have done is I've said I want to do 52 videos this year. I said 50, but 52 I'd like to do.
That's awesome.
I'd like to kind of get one for every single week. But some weeks I might not do a video for a couple of weeks. But then 1 week or 1 month I might do a couple of extras. But I can control basically how much content I put out there. And I'm looking forward to it. Really, I'm enjoying YouTube because it helps me. Like that Patagonia coat, I was saying to my wife before we did the live, I said, you know what, I might not be getting paid or I might not be monetized, and this I know because I'm obviously doing the lives. I do it every single Saturday with Richard. I said, but the one thing is, I said, YouTube has brought me more money because had I not done that pickup that day, and I made I'll hopefully make £400 worth of profit. Wow. From a day that I would have just sat inside. I wouldn't have made, I would have listed, but I wouldn't have got the items to make a video. So YouTube actually does make you money. You know, as long as you've got as long as your idea isn't, as long as your YouTube idea isn't, I'm going to give away £1,000 to someone, a stranger in the street.
Not every day.
Not every day. But like pickup videos are good. Because it makes you challenge yourself and you go, but if I just keep picking up bread and butter items, that's not going to be interesting. And I think that comes back to the valet. I wouldn't have picked the valet up if I wasn't doing YouTube. And then now I've picked up an item that's made me £140, but I would have just bought bread and butter. So I love it. I love YouTube. And it's like,
me too. I'm addicted to it.
I saw a video. There's a load of people, because I don't know if you know about Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister. He's made a few faux pas recently. There's a load of guys got paper masks made of Boris Johnson, blonde wigs, and they've all gone up there. Do you know who it was? It was Jack Mate. Yeah, he's gone up there, about 50 of them, and they're all outside Downing Street saying, Boris likes a party, Boris likes a party. It's literally it's just craziness.
I'll cancel you over here if you say stuff like that.
Oh, so funny.
I think I put that video in the in our group chat.
Did you? I saw it. I showed it to my wife, and then my stepdaughter, she found it somewhere else and shared it. It was like, it's going about. It's going to be a good one. And obviously he's a YouTuber himself. He does sort of that sort of YouTube videos and dissecting people basically. So I'm going to say telly is rubbish. There you go. See, Scott's going to say the telly is rubbish every night when I shut the TV off. From this day forward. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Slower than Richard's chart scrolling, his Maximus Boxing Day video, only 19 days sub here late. Oh dear. Right, well, I'm going to skip to the bottom because we've taken up 2 hours of Rachel's time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We are going to finish it up. Thank you for all you guys that have come in to see us today. We've got Trevor the Street Market. I think that's
Trevor's in Missouri also. He's like 6 hours from me.
There's another new name. Thank you for coming and watching.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Hopefully you'll come back and watch us every Saturday night and keep an eye on the videos. We do
Saturday afternoon or Saturday
afternoon, yeah, for you guys. But sorry, I hate missing comments, but guys, we've got to start finishing up, and I will watch the comments back. And I apologize if I've missed anything important. I just don't want to take up any more Rachel's time. I know it's afternoon time over there, and I appreciate the time you spent with us already.
So we're forecasted
snow, so I'm going nowhere today.
Well, that's cool, but thank you guys so much. Thanks to the new guys in the chat. We've still got loads to go. I've literally ripped through a load of it, and there's still loads.
They like you so much. They wanted to talk.
I don't know about that. Oh, look, I'm only at the bit now where they're talking about Mr. Bean.
You're only honestly, I think you're about 3 minutes behind now. I think because the comments haven't come too thick and fast. They've been more I think having Rachel on here and actually, you know, keeping us talking about different things. I think people have actually learned more from this live than ever. I've learned more.
You know, I hope so. And like a lot of the videos that I put out, I like to do education meets entertainment, and I do a lot of shipping hack videos. So, you know, while we're talking about learning things, I think that's what people learn a lot on my channel. Outside of like shipping hacks and stuff, I'm kind of a cheerleader for people. So I'm going to be the one to tell you like you're more awesome than you think, and you're doing a fantastic job, and I totally believe in you. And sometimes you need someone to say that, and you need to hear that, even if it's someone you've never met. So
exactly. Nice. Yeah, no, it's good. Master Max,
I agree with you, Rachel. I was listening.
Visit the UK, if so, whereabouts?
I would definitely travel anywhere international. My son is, my oldest is 15, and he is desperate to go to the UK. He asks us all the time. So yeah, I mean, I can't think of any place that I wouldn't go. Really, in the UK.
London. I think London. When people come over to here, they usually want to go to London.
That's what they're always thinking.
London's good, but there's so much to see in the UK. What I would say, Rachel, about just that positivity thing, before the new year started, I didn't mean to, but I stumbled across it through a short, and then a short then became, I watched a set, and I'd set like a speech thing. I don't normally watch a lot of motivational speakers because I think a lot of it's sometimes scripted.
Yeah.
But I watched a part and a clip, which was the after show. And I've seen this gentleman, I don't know his name, but I've seen him do speeches before, and he's really, really engaging. And
Gary V.
A woman, I don't know who it is, but let's just say it's Gary V, whoever it be. Right. But this woman came up to him, and she was clearly suffering with depression. She was really, really down. And she said, I want to do something about this show. I want to do something with my life, but I'm struggling to get motivated. I'm struggling to get on. And long and short of it, he said, stop listening to everyone else and start listening to you. And he said, stop putting all this in your ears, all this negativity, this, that, and the other. And he said, start listening to things positive and doing things positive. Yeah. And it's exactly probably why I've got hooked on your videos. And it's why certain videos of other people, not in a nasty way, but if someone is a bit flat, I turn off. It's not intentional. I'm sure their videos are amazing, but that's probably a big part of my problem of why I didn't enjoy being in an office. It was very bitchy. It was very false.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people, you asked them what they did on the weekend, and whatever I asked them that weekend, it was the same for the next 5 years.
No new goals, no
new goals, no
to strive after.
And so the people who I watch isn't the size of the channel. It's how positive they are. It's the way that they are as a person. And I try and put, and what I've started doing this year, I've bought at the start of the year, I bought Audible. Now I suffer with reading and writing difficulties with dyslexia and writing, but I've got my favorite books that I've always wanted to listen to, and I've been listening to my favorite books. And like, maybe, yes, it's a mixture of the gym, maybe it's a mixture of me just working for myself. Yeah. But I feel so much better, and I feel so much more proactive when I put my Audible on. I listen to things that I've always wanted to read, and I feel like I'm succeeding because it's positive. So
they say that you become the sum of the average, I should say, of the 5 people you surround yourself with the most. And that has to be true of like what we feed ourselves in YouTube and television and music. Like, to use an analogy here, if you had a garbage bag and you filled it up with a bunch of garbage and then you closed it up and popped it, you're not going to expect candy to come out. All you did was put in garbage. You know what I mean? So like, if the music you listen to and the TV and like all of this, you're feeding yourself every day. What do you expect to come out but garbage? If that's like, if you're surrounding yourself with people of a negative mindset, and you need to surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. And like, that's good. They're your mentors, whether they know it or not,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Lee's just saying he has to hide the good clothes he picks up from his wife. I learned this after she took a liking to a 200-pound jumper.
See, there's that term jumper again.
Yeah. What percentage of sales are shipped to the USA? I don't know, really. I sell quite a bit.
10% for me. I'd say 10%.
I sell quite a few film props. A lot of my film props go to the States, but then I've got people, collectors that have been buying off me for nearly 20 years.
Toys and figurine vintage toys, like I do really well in America. So you mentioned like the wrestlers, they do really well because what I know you're going to cringe at this, Rachel, so I'm sorry, but with the wrestlers, they do certain releases in the UK and they do certain releases in the US. And I've learned about certain brands, and there's a friend in the chat, Dave at Resells. He got me onto certain releases of like horror movies, whatever they be. But there is what we call like a UK release. Right. There's a US release. There's this, that, and the other. And I try and buy them. And you aim high because people in America will add them because they can't buy them anywhere else. I think I bought something from the Disney store not so long ago, and it was an exclusive where they only sold so many thousand, and then it flipped really, really quick. But I know it's not vintage, but it was just, but it's another form of revenue that I know that works. And it's amazing to think that someone's probably got like the best collection in the world that's probably got one of everything.
And they need like the one thing that you have. Yeah, it's crazy that you guys can get stuff we can't, and we have stuff that you don't. It's just beautiful that GSP allows us to ship across the world like it does.
It's quality,
definitely, and it's nice because I mean the only problem with it is they charge a lot. They seem to charge everybody international a lot of money on top of
for shipping.
If I was to send something straight to you, well, I'm just paying for tracked shipping. They've got to pay ridiculous things, and then the import, and it's just crazy. Sometimes it makes it hard to send stuff by GSP because you feel terrible, with the charges that people are getting charged. And sometimes you get people ask you, can you send it straight to me rather than going through GSP? And I think that's the only bad thing about it. The good thing is once it's got to the GSP center, it's out of your hands and then it's down to eBay.
Do you guys have eBay standard international delivery?
Yeah.
Where you can send it directly. Yeah, they've been trying to talk me into it. I enabled it on a few items. So someone from Canada was trying to evade, I guess, the GSP fees and asked me to turn it on. Then they ghosted me and didn't buy the item. But because I understand that's pretty simple process. Also, I'm worried that I'm going to mess something up sometimes with it if I don't use the GSP because they have so much more experience than me.
Yeah, I just like the fact that once it's got to the center, to the sorting center, that it's out of your hands then, and then it's down to eBay. If someone says, "Oh, it's not here," or "It's got here broken" or something, it's like you covered them really.
I think you're pretty much there now, Richard.
That's good. That's amazing.
He's been stressing it.
It's only taken me all night.
He wants to. It's only taken him 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 54 seconds.
I know.
You're doing a great job.
I feel bad if I miss comments. I feel bad, and I've had to zip past a load. It's talking about to Scott.
I feel like eventually when we make the big time and we've got 2K subs, I reckon we need to get some moderator or someone behind the scenes just reading it for you.
Yeah, I think so. Just highlighting comments.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but I think people totally understand. And if not, go into some channels that, even watching Harry Tornado, he was live with Haley a couple weeks ago, I guess now it's been, and just the speed at which those you couldn't even read it on the screen. And that still doesn't compare with if you go into a non-reseller channel that has 2 million subscribers, it's just
There's no way when you get to that sort of level, you can't. There's no way you can keep up with that.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
You're doing a great job.
You just have to read it and not highlight it.
Do the best you can
to highlight people's things.
That's true.
Right, guys, I am going to finish it up now. Thank you for coming and spending your evening with us.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
I so appreciate you guys inviting me over.
Thank you, Rachel. We will get you back on. We perhaps what we'll have to do at some stage. Another thought is we'll have to get you, Shay, and Little Miss Q. We'll get someone else, and then we'll get some sort of quiz battle going on or something.
They'll think that every American is blonde if you have the three of us on there.
Oh well, you know, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Rachel. It's
really
been awesome having you on.
it. Definitely. And thanks to all you guys that have come over with Rachel. Really appreciate you as well.
Really appreciate it.
Check everyone out. And everyone over here, checking these guys out. They're amazing.
Rachel's got me hooked on this whole video and the trainers. I'm looking forward to finding out how that one's going to end. I really hope that I really hope you get them, because if that's the end, Rachel, that's going to be a quality end.
Out for that now.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you guys. I did have a banner made up as well saying welcome to Rachel and all that, and I even forgot to put that up. So
I always forget them
too. But thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's afternoon for you guys over there, so enjoy your day.
Afternoon, your day, yeah.
We'll see you all again soon.
We'll see you this time next week.
See you later.
See you later, guys.